Welcome to Spurs Asian TV. Right, this is
Yes.
our normal Sunday show. We'll be doing some previews, all right, and some reviews, okay. And of course, let's give a shout out to all those in Asia. Welcome, thanks for watching. Right, shout out to all those in Europe. Good afternoon, right? Good evening to Asia, and of course, good morning to you guys in the Northern American side, Southern American side. Plus,
Yeah,
of course, a big shout out to Canada, right, for
yeah.
Mr. Brian Dago. Yeah.
There might even be a possibility that some of the official, the Vancouver official Spurs supporters club might be watching because I reached out to them.
That's
So we
good.
might
That's good.
we, we might be spanning the whole of Canada today.
Yeah, the whole Canada. We have Scott coming on soon. He's from
Yeah,
Calgary, right? Yeah, or
yeah,
Edmonton,
but they're
Calgary.
even
Yeah,
further. They're 16 hours behind Manila and Kuala
yeah,
Lumpur.
yeah. And of course, just have to give a big shout out to the past two shows from our colleagues, right? From Colin Talking Ball One and Bob Spur, right? The international break does this to you. Colin had a very meaningful show the other day. I'm not sure. Do you watch it, Jamie?
No, I was
Yeah,
working.
go and watch it. Yeah, go and watch that one, right? From Colin Talking Ball. You know him, right? Very meaningful
Mm.
show. Like guys, it talked about mental health and all that. And of course, please do reach out. We are here for you, guys. We are watching. If you're watching later, if you have anything, right? You know where to find us, guys. And of course, the Bobby show went more not to football. It went more to the sense of other issues going around at the moment. But for us, we'll try. We'll try to how you say keep it more football today, right? The game is coming up, right? The game is
Well, it
coming
all
up.
depends on who appears on the window because
Yeah.
the usual suspects turn up, and football isn't always the complete subject matter of the broadcast.
We got 3 hours, right? So it'll take time. It'll take time,
Three
right? But
hours? Are you sure?
uh,
It's not
nah,
a
let's see
soup.
how
We're not
let's see
doing a watch
how far we
along.
go. No, we're not doing watch along. Let's see how far we can go, right? Let's see how far we can go. All right, let me bring in the guests. Okay, a very good guest today. All right, guys, welcome the guests. Hi, guys. Shane, Adam, Prithvi, Scott. Right. So more or less, we have covered Asia, Australia, Europe, India, and of course
And we
North
have
America.
we literally have the no because we have Australia, Southeast Asia, we have South Asia, we've got Europe and Ireland, and because Britain's not Europe anymore. Um, and we've got Scott in Canada, so we've covered our audience,
Yep,
literally.
yep. Hold on. Let me bring out one more guest. All right. Good morning,
Good
General
morning,
Dago.
Mr.
people.
Dago. Oh,
Morning, brother.
Good morning,
Yeah.
people. Good morning, Shane, brother. How you doing?
I'm getting by. I've lost my voice, so
I can hear.
on top of everything else, it's all good. I'm getting better. The
Good.
antibiotics are kicking in, so strange I lost my voice. I've had no voice for 2 days now, so
Jeez, my wife prays that I lose my voice.
Hold on, Brian. Let me bring on one more guest. Hi, Jens.
Oh, the best smile and
Hey,
laugh on
Jens.
TV. There he
We've
is.
got coastal Europe with Adam, and we've got continental Europe with Stop, man. Stop.
it's a truly an
Guys,
international
yeah.
stream, lads.
Yep, truly international.
Mm.
But before we go on, just let me give a big shout out to guys in the watching right in the comments. Sean Snow, thanks for support. Right, Vibuff, right, thanks for support. He's busy today. Right, okay. You need an American? Okay. Shall we get Sean on then? I'll throw
on,
you the
Sean,
link.
Why not?
If you want, I'll throw you the link. But we're reaching maximum limit soon. it's going to turn out to be one of those crazy shows, right? When I'm going to go, oh my God, too many people.
Well, you've got me for about an hour. Then I've got to start getting ready to go to the Scotland Yard.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You're doing a watch party there, right?
No, I wouldn't say. Well, we always watch it at this pub, and then I'm going to do a little vlog where I'm going to do the walk from the station to the pub, and then there's going to be loads of us there. So I might do a few videos during the game, and then a few interviews after, and then Brian Ireland will do what Brian Ireland does and put it all together and make it look lovely. Because if it was me, I'd probably delete everything and be like, yeah, well, this was what we did all day. Nothing. So Brian Ireland does with that, and then hopefully later on this evening or tomorrow there'll be a little vlog up.
That's good. Right. If we do have space, right, maybe a few more people will be, how would you say, joining us live from outside the stadium, not in the stadium, right? But Sean says, no, I'm in bed. Well, why not? You sure, Sean? In bed, all right? Confirm it, Sean. If you really want, I'll throw the link.
If you really want.
Yeah. Or any of you guys have Sean's direct DM
I
or
do.
something?
I do.
All right. Brian Daigle will send it to you, Sean. All right.
Yeah,
Take care. I'll see you soon.
I'll send it to Sean now anyway.
It's going to start the bacon wars. The crispy versus the Canadian.
There's no
he says,
only the English. Only the English bacon. The Canadian bacon isn't bacon. It's crap. It's streaky. I don't even know what the nonsense is.
No,
English.
But
come on, Danish, mate.
Sorry, Jens wins hands down. Game over. That's what we have back home. Jens wins the game.
Yeah, and Bobby, you better hop on soon. There's one more spot left.
Either way, someone's picking out.
Yeah. And look what Bobby says, right? What a panel! Elegant, sex appeal, beauty, integrity.
Sex appeal.
Yeah. I know who's going to be sex appeal. We'll figure that out later. All right. You know the proof.
Pick me.
Shane.
For the stream. All right, we'll give the sex appeal to Shane. All right, take a vote.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
All right, we'll give it to Shane. Yeah, thanks, Bob. That's it. One more spot.
That's not a knife.
Sean. Yep.
This is a knife.
An Aussie beauty, mate. Aussie beauty.
Yeah. Good. I'm sure all of us.
It's got a sticky wicket.
Yeah, I'm sure of you guys. All of us did watch the show. The two previous shows from our colleagues, right? I think the international break brings out a lot of things in us, and too much time, then we'll have to do a show. We'll do a good show, right?
Yeah,
touching
we start talking about the television of our youth, as WhatsApp stream will testify to.
Ben, of course, Ole is no more at the wheel.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's go to yesterday's results. Okay, guys.
Lots and lots of goals.
Yeah. Lots and lots.
Way
of
too
goals.
many.
Way
too many
right?
for.
Chelsea, normally like Chelsea, right? Beat Leicester. Aston Villa beating Brighton. That's a bit surprised, right, mate? The Gerrard bounce. All right. And then, of course, you got the Burnley and Crystal Palace 3-3 and Newcastle and Brentford 3-3. Gosh, must have been hell of a match, right? And Norwich beating Southampton.
They had another victory,
Yeah. Hold on, guys. A guest coming in, and first timer, I guess, right? Welcome him. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
What up, Sean, brother?
Hey, Sean.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yep.
Clear, mate.
So, are you in the Midwest or the Southwest?
I'm in the Southwest. I'm from Albuquerque.
Okay, so in the Philippines we have adobo, which is a chicken dish, and there they have an adobe, which is a construction method. So.
All right. Jens had to step out for a while. The little one is back, all right? So Jens, thanks for helping out for a while. Just had a few words and hi and bye. But if you have time later, hop on. Our shows go on for some time if it's enjoyable enough. Right, okay. Sean, we were just talking about the matches that happened yesterday, right? And of course now Ole is no more there. And an ex-Spurs player is going to be the caretaker manager. What do you guys think? I'll start
it's an inside job.
Inside job. I'll start with Shane because Shane has got a bit of let him speak first, and because he's got a bit of lost his voice and getting back his voice now. Shane, go ahead first.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard bounce. That was good to see. It was good from the highlights that I saw. Villa played out of their skin. I do think that was it Burnley? No, not Burnley.
They played Brighton yesterday.
Brighton.
Brighton.
Burnley was the
Brighton
next result on the stream.
Brighton were unlucky. They could have equalised, but overall, the games were quite impressive with all the high scoring draws, and yeah, Ollie not being there. Watford absolutely gave him a spanking. It was just an amazing spanking.
An amazing spanking. Wow!
Oh.
Wow!
I think that's
Ollie had
too
to
much
go.
Ollie had to go. Yeah.
Ollie had to go. You could not last that. Even though how good he's been over the last 2 years, it's he did that defeat. Just no bouncing back from that.
Yeah. Sorry, chaps. I had to drop out. Yeah. Okay. Drop, but should be back on about an hour later. All right. We'll catch up again later, Jens.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think the Ollie situation, right? They still kept on, right? Then I think Manchester United will be having some kind of BDSM kind of fetish or something. Spanking.
I don't want to know what's underneath Old Trafford. Let's just say that.
And and Scott, the games yesterday.
Yeah, the thing about the United game was it probably should have been even a bigger spanking, right? Like, was it Sarr missed both two penalties, or I guess it was one penalty twice. There's a couple other chances I saw that they could even been worse. And I think if I was a United fan, one thing that would concern me, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but all the players kind of coming out and being like, no, it's not Ole's fault. It's not Ole's. And you wonder if that's because they know that he's a soft touch, right? And under him, they don't have to work hard. They can kind of run the team how they want. And now somebody's going to come in and actually make them maybe do some things that they don't want, which is what should happen. But like I said, maybe they're just doing it to be publicly because he's a nice guy. But I would worry about the mentality of some of the players who are coming out and didn't seem to want Ole to go because they might have got used to a nice easy ride, kind of like what we've seen at Spurs, right? Some of our players have been kind of getting used to.
Maybe they'll get
too comfortable. So
yeah, maybe. Right. Let me see. But okay, Prithvi.
I think out of all the results, the most important one was the Liverpool Arsenal.
Prithvi. But hold on, Prithvi. Let me bring on one more guest before you go on. I'll get back to you.
Sure.
After this. Hi, Colin.
Hey.
What's up, Colin?
Hey, Colin.
Good morning.
That intro was great. That was awesome. I feel special.
Yeah, today I had to do it. Everybody who comes.
You've had a bit of a trim.
Yeah. I decided that if I'm so beautiful, I want you guys to see it. I don't want to deprive you guys of seeing my pretty face anymore.
You actually look better, I think, with that look.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what everyone. I'm actually at my mother's house. I just got here because we're gonna watch the game together. And she said the same. She said the same thing. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
so you've gone from Woodstock to hipster.
I'll be back to Woodstock too. It's pure laziness most of the time, man. I just got other things to do besides shave the face. And I decided I'd give Eugene my mustache. So that's we just traded.
Thank you. Next, I just need to dye it ginger. That's all.
Oh my gosh! Please, we got to make that into a bet. No tattoo bets, just dyeing your mustache.
Oh yeah, you can change the bets, right? Instead of shaving or tattooing, we just dye beards.
Got black hair, and then he'll have a ginger moustache. I've got no hair, so it doesn't matter if I do the ginger.
Yeah. Colin, just hold on. Preview was just having a say about the games that went past. I'm just going through the panel. This show's usually why is it that long? Is because everybody has the time to say it.
He's got a wooden spoon in his hand and he's stirring a certain noxious substance because of a result against Liverpool.
Okay, go ahead, Predvi.
I think before the game, I'm not really sure who's the player who posted this, but he had sent some sort of warning against Liverpool and Salah in particular, but they ended up getting the spanking instead. So, cheers to that. But apart from that, I think this whole manager change thing has become a trend this particular season. Like we've seen like at least 4 or 5 managers getting sacked and replaced just like that. So I think the league is going to turn out more interesting thanks to the new additions. Well, we just have to see what's going to happen.
All right. And Adam?
Yeah. I want to know what every player in every single game had yesterday, like before it kicked off, because it just turned into an absolute mad show. Like obviously, I mean, like you have like one or two expected results, like Chelsea, and like Newcastle not winning, but at the same time, like I'm like at least they fought back. That's more than what they've been doing this season. Like so, Eddie Howe was having an immediate impact. Like obviously, and then of course you just have the absolute best crazy ones like Norwich, like Watford, which I absolutely, lads, honestly, the streams from the United fans yesterday were absolute comedy gold. Like and of course AFTV, and it was AFTV and chill last night after Bob Spurs stream. You might just have to see that that's like because I have been begging for them to get battered, like because it's been such a long time since they absolutely got pounded, like. So it was good to see them put back in their place yesterday.
Okay, this conversation's going in the wrong direction. We're talking about banking and pounding. I mean, what's going on there?
I think that's just you, Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, guys. One more guest hopping on. Yep. I'll come back to you, Adam. Just hold on. Let me bring one more guest. Hello, Tommy. Tommy. Yeah, just got you.
What up, Tommy, brother?
Hey, Tommy.
What's going on, boys? What's going on? I'm so happy. I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it. We're going to smash Leeds. We're smashing Leeds today. I'm feeling it.
That's good. Yeah. And okay, guys, we're full house. Okay.
Hey, that's what I just come back from a run. I just come back from a run. I was like, I've got to jump on for at least 15 minutes before you get a full house. Because last time I didn't make it on. You had 10 people. So
I can see we're playing a 4-4-2.
What's up, man? Adam, how you doing? Shane, how is everyone? How is everyone?
No, I just want to ask you something. How are you after COVID?
I'm fine. I'm fine, man. It didn't
no,
hit
like
me.
long-term symptoms or anything, no?
No, I didn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe running, because I just come back from a run. Maybe there's something where I'm just not running as well with my, the lung capacity and that sort of thing. But I don't think so. I think I'm pretty good, man. Them vaccines certainly worked. The vaccines certainly worked, man.
All they do, yeah. Love to hear it. Good.
No, cheers, man. But yeah, no, I just had. It was just lack of taste. That's all it was for me, really. Lack of taste. Yeah, that's basically all it was.
Yeah, but that was your problem before COVID.
All right. Tommy.
In football club for sure.
Just hold on for a while, guys. Let Adam finish off. Then we'll finish all the games analysis for yesterday. Adam, as you were saying.
As I was saying, like Jamie is right. Like this conversation went from 0 to 100 very quickly. We were talking about batterings and the spankings. This would be the perfect time to have Botspur on. I'm telling you, Anyway, look, I'll just finish off by saying the only way this weekend can be absolutely perfect, like pitch perfect, is if we beat Leeds today and gain some ground on those Gophers.
We need to. More goals. Full stop.
A shot on target would be lovely.
A shot on target. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, don't twist that statement.
Yeah, and Brian.
Yes,
the
brother.
games yesterday. Did you get a chance to watch it, or you were spending some time with your lovely missus?
I slept quite a bit, Joe. I slept. Just chill in bed and watch football. But no, I was in that sleep. But 2 games of water. I'll talk about the Liverpool games. So first of all, that altercation with Arteta and Klopp just goes to show what Liverpool could do as in the 12th man, and like the Kop. The Kop set that tone after that ruck. And basically, that's what Conte has to do with the South Stand now. The way that Klopp has that stadium, if anything goes wrong, they go absolutely on fire, and that completely changed the game. The way Jota took his goal was a thing of pure beauty, was absolutely ridiculously brilliant, his goal. And then United, with United, I mean, I watched that game in full, and yes, United were poor, but Watford were absolutely incredible on that game. And that Dennis guy up front looks like a real goddamn find. Sarr was tearing them apart. The one thing I will say is Harry Maguire, that looks a bit stupid now, doesn't it? That looks a little bit stupid. Going like
Brian,
this and going like that.
But Brian, don't forget, I was surprised with Sissoko. My God, why doesn't he play like that for us?
Yeah.
Listen, you got to remember Sissoko. He went from being a small fish in a big pond to being a big fish in a small pond. So that's why, and he will do a job for someone at Watford. He will do without no disrespect to Sissoko. He will do an incredible job for them. He will do the running. He'll do all the hard work. Obviously, with Tottenham, it's just expected a hell of a lot of a higher standard, and that's just the way it is. But Watford was superb. What I did like is, and I think we just mentioned it, was Fernandez saying, "Listen, don't blame Ollie, blame us, because look at you. You've got all these players. They've got absolutely no balance. Their defence is shocking. Is absolutely shocking. It's quite concerning to show how badly they battered us when they're getting absolutely torn apart by everyone else. Listen, we all knew this sacking was on the cards. It was coming at any moment. I don't think there was no way he could survive this result. No, if it had been 2-1, maybe 4-1, 2 goals. No, not a chance. Listen, he's gone. The manager merry-go-round has swung again. At least Ollie can have a nice Christmas now. Chill. He's going to have a few million extra in the bank. He could do whatever at Christmas. I can remember. I mean, Tommy will remember this. Shane will remember this as well. There were people back in the day, players that used to get booked, so they were suspended for the Boxing Day game, just so they could spend time with their family. This was a regular thing. Like they did the math. It's become managers now that are trying to get the sack before Christmas so they can be with their families. Listen, Ollie, when you hired him, he'd been at Cardiff and Mulder, and you brought him in at United because he was a institution, he was a hero, and this is why I'm so against ex-players managing the Tottenham, because if it goes wrong, it tarnishes their image. I mean, Ollie will always go down as a great for what he did as United, but they always think manager as well and think, oh yeah, he really failed. But yeah, it was a goal clutch. Aston Villa, you knew was going to win. And Newcastle, I think Eddie Howe should retire now because he's the only manager in the world that has a 100% goal return from Joe Linton. Played one, scored one. Quit, and have that as your history. I was there when Joe Linton scored because that's his goal for the decade done, unless they play us again. But yeah, listen, the goals were crazy, and it's all about today, really, isn't it? It's all about today. Yeah. But big up, just very quick, I just want to say one thing actually, because I know Bob's in the chat, and I was meant to see that I couldn't go on his show, and I didn't get to talk to him. I normally talk to him a lot about when things like this. I just want to pay a huge respect to Sergio Aguero, a huge respect to Sergio, because that guy, forget who he played for, we're seeing it more and more often now with these heart irregularities that are coming in at later ages or with fans, and I think now the FA or FIFA or UEFA have to start looking at doing heart screenings like every season to check the players. Because my best mate, who was in the army in Israel, he literally he was on his military service. He got stung in the arse by a scorpion, went to hospital. They did loads of tests to find out he had a major heart defect, and if he'd carried on for much longer, he would have collapsed and died. So they're just it's not just like a heart, you're born with something. And Bob Spur is obviously someone that everyone knows that is extremely close to me, and it's become a lot more recognizable for me whenever I hear about a heart thing. I automatically think about him. And then when you hear it with someone like Sergio Aguero, who's had the best doctors, the best trainers, and then he just had to stop in the middle of a game and now he's looking to retire. I mean, if he'd carried on playing and it wasn't detected, God knows what would have happened. So big up to Sergio, and I just hope that UEFA and FIFA could do something about bringing heart proper heart examinations in every single season to check for this.
Well, we've just had Ericsson in the Euros and now Sergio. So
I don't know.
It's so sad.
Well, but
so sad.
they were saying I think
it's awful.
The vaccine may be a part of it, but don't go there. But
I don't know about
that's rubbish.
But
so they prove
guys,
it's because they're hyper-fit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
But guys, I just would like to say a big up to Winky. First time seeing you in the chats. Thanks for your support.
I think Winky's is Aaron. If I'm not mistaken. No, wait, that was a different Winky.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out who is it, and of course I need to do a big shout out to Chris Agamba, right? Chris Agamba, thanks for support. Aaron Dub, Aaron, Alan, brother, right? If you want to hop on later, but you can see that we're full at the moment. Bobby's in line first. Chris Agamba.
What about Sean? He's up early, and
I'm coming to Sean. Yep, Sean. Yep, Sean. Hi, Sean.
Good morning.
Your thoughts. Yep, your thoughts on the games that went by.
I got to see. I watched the Watford Manchester United, and I actually thought Watford would beat them. So, and then I also begged to Ben Foster to win that game for me, because only 2% chose in my Pick'em league for Watford, so that gave me a big point.
That's good.
But no, Man United's defense is just awful. I don't know what they were doing. Luke Shaw was all over the place. He wasn't tracking back right. Maguire was slow. Lindelof was usually a little too high, so he was getting beat. And then the offense, the midfield, they got a lot of problems at Manchester United. Where they're at now is surprising. And Ole needed to go a long time ago. But I've always thought that if it took Fergie almost 5 years before he won a trophy, right? So the way they were setting up was under Ole. Why not give him the 5 years? Take your lumps. Maybe stick with the manager for once.
Doesn't happen anymore. Everyone wants instant results.
Exactly, instant gratification, and I think it's the ruin of a lot of teams. I mean, Poch was in his 5th year, and it started to go into crap, and we automatically changed. I think so we don't know. And let's see, what other game did I see? I saw I missed the Liverpool Arsenal. I saw Watford, and I saw one more. Maybe I didn't.
Chelsea.
No, I watched a bunch of the Italian league today because there were some really great matches there. So really the only one I saw was the Manchester United, and I just thought Watford was amazing.
Yeah.
Ranieri give Ranieri time. I mean, the joke is Ranieri is the next coach after Ole now, as much as Watford changes. So that's all I got to say.
They're having their bounce. I think he's having his bounce, isn't he, Ranieri? And then they'll just get sacked. After a month, they'll lose a couple of games. That's how Watford operate. That's how they operate.
That is, you're right, Tom. You called. I think you called Watford to sack their manager like before the season even started. It's
disgusting. It's disgusting how they deal with it. Brian, I'm not sure where Brian's gone, but Brian saw Zisco in a cafe or something when he was in London. I think the same day he was sacked or the day before. I don't know where Brian Daigle is now, but he saw the ex-Watford manager in a cafe, which is unbelievable. But yeah, they just go through managers. It's disgusting. I think it's disgusting. I want them to get relegated for that reason, and I want Ismail Sarr. I want him to get relegated because I want Ismail Sarr at Spurs. So there's a couple of reasons.
I don't know anything about Sarr except that he's a great player. I wonder how he would fit in with like the squad and stuff.
Yeah, but to tell the truth, guys, we can want all we want, right? But we must think what Conte wants, right? It doesn't matter what we think. Only the most important what Conte wants. Yeah. And of course, Sean, any more thoughts on the games that went by? If not, I'll pass the ball to Colin.
No, go on, Colin.
Oh,
Colin,
all right.
Doctor.
Yeah. So we're talking games over yesterday.
Yesterday's games, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 24 goals, 28 goals or something like that.
Yeah.
My gosh.
That is absolutely insane. And I'll tell you the truth too. The only matches that I really paid much attention to were like most people, United and Arsenal. And for one, you don't see four goals scored in a match that often. So to have it happen twice, and one day was kind of a cool thing. As a neutral, I guess you could say, for those games at least, it was a lot of fun, and I like watching United get pumped. I wish, to be completely honest, I wish they hadn't. I wish that they had just barely eked out a win or something, or were tied, just to buy Ollie more time, because I like what he's doing with the club. It was benefiting us, you know. And then to watch Arsenal lose, and in the fashion they did, was wonderful. Like, I know that's not nice to say, but I don't care. The back pass. Who was the back pass? Who made the back pass that Jota intercepted and then scored that wonderful goal?
Oh yeah.
Tavares, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it may have been. Yeah, I think it may have been Tavares.
They were all talking. They were hyping that guy up so much before the match too. It was comical. It was fun. I don't like Liverpool.
He was the guy who.
I'm not a Liverpool fan by any stretch. So I don't really like seeing them do well. But if they're going to do well at the expense of Arsenal, then I'm all for it.
I wasn't aware that there were 70s sort of singing groups in the football team. I mean, Tavares. What about the Temptations or maybe the OJs?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. To be honest with you, James. I think that shows your age right there.
I've been muted. Wait.
But no. I don't have much more else to say other than that. Liverpool looked pretty good. I don't really like that, but it's cool. The people that we needed to lose points lost points. Like, we're not gonna. I don't see us catching Chelsea or anything. So that result was okay. It was okay. It's prime. It's prime. Like, we need the points this weekend. And this is usually where we would drop, like in seasons past. And I'm hoping Conte has at least worked to instill like a fighting mentality into the squad, and got rid of some of the fear. And maybe we can play without the fear that holds us back, and we can capitalize where other teams have dropped points, and we can get to 3 today.
Yeah. Sorry, Jamie. Sorry, because I think there's some wind sound coming from your side, right? If you want to speak, you can unmute yourself.
No, it's not wind. It's not that kind of wind. It's my AC started dripping, so I turned the desk fan on.
Oh, okay, all right. And sorry. You were saying, Shane?
Winky or score.
Winky or score.
Winky or score.
I'm afraid we're going to see Winks and Dele start today with maybe Højbjerg.
No, not Dele, please.
Did you see how much?
Okay, before we go to the game, right? Yeah, before we go to the game, let Tommy have his say on the games that passed yesterday. Right, each of you have a turn.
I watched the Liverpool Arsenal game. I was travelling in between when the 3 o'clocks kicked off and that, so I didn't see the other games. But looking at the results, it was a mad one, absolute mad. I mean, yeah, Newcastle 3, Brentford 3, Palace 3. I mean, so many goals. So I'm definitely watching the highlights. But the Arsenal-Liverpool game, Arsenal were in the game. Arsenal were in the game for a large part. But that's the thing against Liverpool. When they go 1-0 up, and the opposition are forced to push up. That's it. They will rip you apart. They'll rip you to shreds. And that's what they did against Arsenal. But do you know the Man United game? So I missed it. I haven't watched the highlights. Did they play 3 at the back like they did against us when they lost 4-1? Brian, you watched it. Did they play 3 at the back?
No, I think they went back 4.
I think because Cavani's injured. With Cavani injured, they don't do it. When Cavani's fit, they done it and they destroyed us, quite frankly, didn't they? So Cavani's a big player for them. He's a big player. So I'm not surprised. He was going to get sacked at some point. But you know what? One surprising thing is I talked to a lot of Man United fans on neutral streams. They did not want Conte. The Man United fans did not want Antonio Conte. It's so weird. I'm like, why wouldn't you? He's the top 3 managers in the world. I think where they've been playing so defensive over the last few years, under Mourinho, under Solskjaer to a certain extent, Van Gaal, he was a weird one, very, very pragmatic. They want someone on the front foot. So that's why they would prefer Pochettino. That's why they'd probably go for Zidane in front of Conte, which I found surprising. It does make a lot of sense because Conte is kind of pragmatic. So if we're expecting gung-ho football, it's not going to happen. But if it's pragmatic to a certain extent and we're winning games, like I'm sure we will today, then we're all for it, aren't we, as Spurs fans? And I've got good vibes. I've got good vibes going into today. Like we're going to score 3 or 4 goals. I'm just convinced. Famous last words. Don't let me down, Spurs. Don't let me down.
They usually do. But okay, like what Bob Spurs says, right? Very strong reports. United going all out for Poch. Can you see?
Boys, I'm going to head off. I'll let Bob Spur on. Bob Spur can obviously.
All right, Bobby.
So I've got to have a shower, man. I've got to have a shower. Literally.
You haven't showered. You just finished your run. Haven't showered.
I'm stinking, man. I'm stinking.
Tommy, you going?
Yeah. Get Bobby on.
Tommy, we still doing after the show or after the game?
Are you going to the match?
Oh yeah, I'm doing it. I'm not going to the match. No. I was going to. I could have got a ticket, but I'm not going to the game. So I'm going to have a reaction. I don't know how you're doing things, Eugene. Are you going to have a watch? Are you going to do the watch along?
No.
You're not doing the watch along. Oh, that's good. I don't want to step on your toes. But yeah, hour after the game.
It's okay. Yeah.
Hour after the game, I'm doing a reaction. And there's going to be a few star ratings. Let's just say Raziak's part of it, and a couple of more fun ones. Okay. Join me for that if you can.
If you're watching,
but subscribe to Eugene. Subscribe. It's an amazing channel.
Subscribe to Tommy.
I mean, look, the guests are just like pumped to get on. The guests are like, there's no space. So you got to make sure you sub. Eugene's doing a great job. But peace out, everyone. Good to see everyone. And in a bit.
All right, bye-bye. And Bobby, watching, you better hop on now. Faster. You know someone takes the spot. Come on, Bobby. Is he coming on? Okay, not yet. All right. Guys, since Tommy's going to take a shower, right? He just finished his run and he's joined us.
It's a good man.
Cool guy.
It's a good guy right there.
Yeah. But no, one thing I like about us is that we're family, right? We're always there for each other, right? To support each other and to help us get over hard times if we do have some, right? If you need to speak, like I've been talking, right? Please do reach out, right? We're always here, guys. We're always here, right? And we're waiting for Bob. Okay, let's go to the game, right? First of all, I would like to.
Eugene, did you want to talk about Bob's question about Poch to United?
Yeah, Poch and United. But just hold on. Right? Guess who is joining us?
Need to kick it out for that. There he is.
Sorry, Brian. Cut you off. I always do that.
I was saying he can answer his own question. I knew who was coming.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm only jumping on because I don't want anyone else to jump on. I am driving to the flat now. I'm there in about 5 minutes, but I'll chat to you and then I'll be on screen. But yeah, I'm still listening and joining.
All right. Okay. Back to Bobby's question. Yeah.
Bob, what's your thoughts? Yeah, I'll go. I mean, listen. No matter what happens, Man U have been linked with Poch for years. Since Fergie went out for dinner with him. Listen, whenever a manager goes in the Premier League of that, and it's a team of that magnitude, Poch's name is always going to be always dropped in there. I just can't see him going. Don't get me wrong. If they went for him in the summer, I could see it. I just can't see it right now. When they're still in the Champions League, they still could win the league title. All right, it's France. Unless they offer him a mammoth, and I do mean mammoth salary, and you got to think transfer funds, they're not going to beat what he's got on PSG, and he's not going to be able to get the players he's got in PSG. That's for damn sure. I just can't see it. Next season when they could lose Kylian Mbappe, and he should have a league title minimum. under his belt. I could see it. I would be surprised to see Man U hire an interim until the summer and then go get him. Do I see Poch at Man U in the future? Hell yeah. Do I see him right now? No.
And Prithvi, what do you think?
As far as I'm concerned, I think the Poch moving to United this season is a big shot, like a long way to go for that. Because I mean, like Brian mentioned, with all that he's got at PSG, I think he can get the league title or whatever, any silverware for that matter. But I think if he does miss out on that chance and move to United now, it would take some more time than expected for him to get that, the what do you say, silverware in that matter. So yeah, I think Poch to United would be great. Not that it's not great, but yeah, like Brian mentioned, not this season.
Not this season. And Shane, you were saying?
Michael Carrick, is it? Michael Carrick is interim manager. I mean, why not hold on to Ollie for the rest of the season is what I don't get. Michael Carrick's, what, do you reckon he's going to do a better job than Ollie? I just don't. I don't see it. I just don't understand it.
There's talk of Laurent Blanc as well coming in, isn't there?
Oh,
for interim?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. For just the interim. Laurent Blanc was an ex-MU player or not? He was, right?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. All right. And sorry, Shane, you going?
That's all I was going to say is just I don't understand why sack Ollie and put in an interim to the end of the season. Why not just stick with Ollie until the end of the season?
Maybe they lost the squad, or the squad is not playing for Ollie anymore. That's the problem.
Well, they come out after the game. They come out after the game and praised him. So
I wonder if they want to do it almost like how he got the job, right? If you keep him in there, and let's say they go on kind of a miracle run and win the FA Cup, well, then at the end of the year, can you sack him if you want him gone, right? It makes it a lot harder. That's kind of how he got the job, right? He was interim. Yeah. They went on a bit of a run, and stupidly, I will say, gave him the job full time because they went on a bit of a run. So I wonder if that's kind of what they're thinking. If you want him out, let's just sack him now so that he doesn't kind of go on. Not that he goes to win the league or really high, but he wins something, right? Like I said, even if he wins the Carabao Cup, then is it going to be harder if you sack him if he does something like that? So that's one of the reasons I think maybe you do. And with Poch going to United, it's weird, right? Because we hear Poch was, from what I've heard, was a PSG player, right? That they really loved. He loves PSG. Supposedly they like him because of that history he has with the club. But then it almost seems like since day one that he is hired, it's always been the thought that he's going to be sacked, or when is he going to be sacked? I mean, I could be wrong. I think they're about a week or two away from clinching Ligue 1. They have such a big lead in it, right? Like, I think they already have a 15, 16-point lead. And not only that, the teams that they have a lead over aren't really great teams, right? The other teams that theoretically have a chance to compete with them, the other top teams aren't doing that well this year. So I think he would be a really great fit at United, and I certainly don't want to see it, but I can't see him leaving PSG while they're still doing well, and I don't think that they're gonna start to struggle until you're probably looking at the semifinals at least of the Champions League. They're just too good.
For me, it wouldn't feel right to have Poch at Man United. It feel a bit like a Berbatov situation, especially to have it if he actually hit the ground running and brought them some success. After being gotten rid of when we were moving in the right direction with him at Tottenham. So I'd rather they get a Laurent Blanc or maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll get like Zidane or Simeone or something like that.
There's talk of
Zidane's not going.
Yeah, Shane, you saying?
I just thought I thought there was rumours of Mancini leaving Italy to go to Man U.
Pink Panther.
But guys, to tell the truth, right, it's all gonna be rumors. All right, we've been through it a lot. Okay, we had 72 days with our manager, right? All the rumors flying left, right, and center. But at the moment now, since Carrick is there, right? So let it be, and let's see what Carrick can do, right? And let's get Sean. Sean, what do you think?
Well, Carrick can't coach because, I mean, just look at their central defensive midfielder. They don't have done it, and he was world class. So he obviously can't coach. And just think about it. They need to get like Ralph Ragnick, or
Ten Hag.
Ten Hag is happy at Ajax. He'll never leave Ajax. He'll be a lifer at Ajax. Really, I mean, he's happy at Ajax. He's winning the league. He's just loved in Ajax, and Ten Hag won't come. And there's really nobody out there but Ralph Ragnick, unless I can't think of anybody else. But
especially this time of the season,
I don't see Poch leaving unless they do give him oodles of money. But I mean, Poch isn't even getting a tune out of Mbappe or Neymar. I mean, David from the Canadian David is leading the league in goals, and he has more goals combined than Neymar and Mbappe have. So it's like he's not really doing a great job at PSG, and I don't think he'd do a good job at Manchester United either. I think Poch should just stick at PSG because he's got world-class players and he's in an easy league. So I don't see anything. They got a world of trouble. They should have kept Ollie and given him just time until that right coach. Zidane is overrated. He can't coach. As soon as he coaches a club, the next club, unless it's like Chelsea or Pool or Man City, because he didn't build a team. He already had a team pre-made with world-class players. So all he did was throw them out on the pitch and let them play, and just gave them their creative freedom and just let them play. So I don't know.
Well, I think what Zidane's good at is managing personalities, right? So he would be a good fit for France, I think. Go deal with
that's all he can manage is personality. I mean, that's all he's good for. But he's tactically he's not a good coach.
Well, I think Zidane's waiting for the France job anyway. But Colin,
that's what he really wants. Is what he's waiting on the France job. But I don't see Deschamps leaving anytime soon either.
Yeah. So
Deschamps' ego is just huge.
So big. Yeah. And Colin, what do you think about the Bob's question?
Is it bad that I don't? This is going to sound terrible, but I just feel like as a club we've moved on from that, from Poch and from that era, and I'm so thankful for what he did, and I'm so thankful for what he brought to the club, and he's kind of changed the, I don't want to say foundation of the club, but he changed like the attitude around the club, and I think a lot of that has actually stuck around since he departed.
Break you up there for 1 minute because Sky Sports have just released at 8:46 my time, so I'm talking 3 minutes ago. Mauricio Pochettino is Manchester United's #1 choice to take over as manager next summer.
Yeah, next summer.
So
next summer,
that's
so
just now on Sky Sports News.
So they're looking to have. No.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. I know this sounds bad, but I don't really care that much. As long as he doesn't go to Arsenal or something, I don't really care where Poch goes. You know, I'm not scared of United. I'm not even. I mean, a Poch or a Potter or somebody that really could take United and do something good with them. I understand that, but at this time, I'm not afraid of United. I'm not afraid of what they've got. I think Conte versus Poch. I think we've got the better manager. I want him to succeed. I want him to be happy because he, helped us. But other than that, like, I'm not. I don't. It doesn't bother me really that much either way. Like we're past that. We're better. We're in a new chapter, and I think looking backwards is never good. Just all eyes forward.
To move on. That's all. Move on. Move forward.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
I do know that I never want Poch back.
I'll take it. I'll take him back, but not under Levy.
We would need a squad of a lot of young guys again that would buy into his philosophy, that would kill themselves basically on the pitch and on the training ground, and we don't have that right now. We would be setting Poch up to fail if we brought him back.
We have Conte who's trying to do that to them, but
in a different, I feel like in a different way, maybe. Like, I don't know. I think Conte, he's had more success too, so the players will maybe hopefully buy into his methods a little more. They won't, you know what I mean?
They didn't buy into Mourinho's.
Yeah, but Mourinho's a prick. No,
Conte can be a prick too.
Thought that.
Definitely, no, definitely. But Mourinho, you got to admit, he's kind of at the twilight of his career. You know, like I feel like his career is. I feel like he took the Spurs job to try to get back into the managerial spotlight and to get his name back into the hat. But I don't think he ever really saw Spurs as something where he was going to, be there for a long time or have a project. I think that was all just words. And
I think Mourinho would be really good at international level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, he should move. Yeah, he should move over the international level soon. I think he'll take about. I think after Roma, if there's not much choices left, he will surely move over to international level, right? And hi, Bobby.
Big up.
Back home. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back safe. Yep,
yes,
mate.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good. Right. And Adam, to Bobby's question, we'll let Bobby answer himself later.
What was Bob's question? Like, because I was like, I was out, like, Poch, yeah.
Poch going to Manchester United. What do you feel? How do you think? Do you think it'll happen?
I mean, yeah, I think it might happen, yeah, especially if they don't get to then, like, and if they go with, like, Fletcher and Carrick, like, as interim managers to the summer, which would be absolutely mad. But, like, I mean, I said it before, like, a few months ago, I really don't want to see Poch managing any other Premier League club besides Tottenham. But, like, to be honest, in hindsight, I suppose, really, as long as it's not Arsenal or Chelsea, like Colin said, like, I wouldn't really have that big of an issue with it. It would be very interesting, though, like, if you were playing them, like, at Old Trafford and at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and Poch was managed. Like, I mean, like, that would be an interesting one to see, like, see if Conte could, like, outplay him and stuff, like, just to see what happens. But yeah, I suppose I don't really have, like, that much of an issue with it, like, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
What about a totally random idea? Ronaldo as player manager.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You tell all the players to like to do the CU celebration, like, after scoring a goal, like.
No, come on.
Yeah. And Bobby, answer your own question.
I'm a bit like Colin. I mean, the conversation was Poch going to Man United. I couldn't give a two shits if he comes to Spurs, because right now we've got one of the top 4 managers in the world. He goes to Man United, that's absolutely fine. He comes to Spurs. He's only coming to Spurs if he's successful, if he's won trophies. No point bringing Poch back if he's been sacked by PSG, especially under Levy as well. I've always seen Poch and Man United as a fit. I don't know why. I think they've always seemed to have gone together. Even when he was at Spurs, I think his head turned when Man United were interested. I think nothing was confirmed, but I think there were a lot of rumours that he wanted to go to Man United, and there's nothing wrong with that. But right now, I'm over him. A few months back, I couldn't wait. We were all celebrating the return of Poch, but we did say, we did say that it's only worth him coming back if Levy does what we hope he's doing right now and loosens the purse strings. But we've got Conte at the moment. My full focus with regards to Spurs is on him. If he goes to Man United, I wish him all the best. But I think Conte is a better manager than Poch. I think we'll be more successful than a Man United if Poch went to a Man United. So if he goes, I like to see him back. I'd like to see Poch back in the Premier League, but I wouldn't be sitting there going, "Oh, I wish we had him instead of Conte." No chance.
Yeah, same here. Like,
that's true. That's true.
Agree.
All right. Big shout out to John Fitzpatrick. Yeah, thanks for your support. All right.
Big up, John.
You too. Big up. All right. Poch, come on. Like what Colin says, we have to move forward. We have Conte, the best manager in the world, right? Based on record at the moment, short term or long term or medium term, right? As I see it, the fan base has to move on. If Poch goes, he goes to MU, right? And maybe he wins a few trophies there. Then maybe he'll come back when Levy's gone. That's my wish.
We can only hope.
Yeah, we can only hope, right? But of course, right? Any news of our team lineups today, guys?
We'll probably get it about 3 o'clock or 3:30, won't we, mate?
Yeah, 3:30. That's another about an hour's time or so.
Who's everyone saying should come in for Romero?
Rodon.
Who should come in or who will come in?
Who do you
Sanchez.
hope comes in? But
I would say Rodon, but I think it's going to be Sanchez.
Sanchez.
It will be Sanchez.
I'm hoping Tanganga because it's the right side, and that's where everyone, or me personally, have said on many a stream. That's where
that's a really good
position
shot,
is made for Tanganga. But if I have to say who's he most likely going to go for, it would have to be Sanchez. But I would like to see Tanganga.
Tanganga's a great shot. I can't believe I didn't think of that. That's really, really good.
I always think of Romero in the middle, so that's why I said Rodon. But you're right; he's been playing on the right, which he shouldn't be doing. So I would say Tanganga if you're going to play.
I'm switching up Tanganga.
And the only reason I say Sanchez is because he's just got more experience playing with these defenders in game. I mean, and obviously Rodon's never going to get that experience if he doesn't get to play. But Conte needs a win right now. He's a new manager. He needs the points. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to go with what he knows best. If that makes sense. I know that I don't know. I see it as being Sanchez instead of Joey.
Well, if you look at it as well, Colombia, Davinson Sanchez and Rodon would have been away with international duty. He would have had a lot of time with Tanganga to establish what he wants and what he needs and how he's going to play. So just based on that, but that's just me. I mean, I can see him going for more experience. But if it was down to me, I mean, I think a lot of us have said it on all various streams that this right of a back three is absolutely tailor-made for Japhet Tanganga. It really, really is. Whether he sees that as with a Romero in the middle when Romero's fit, and then again we go back to as of now until mid-January, football is non-stop. So he's got to balance this squad out and think, right, how do I get this squad and how do I keep this player fit for this game? He would have earmarked or bookmarked certain games for certain players that they have to play, especially the Liverpool and Leicester. They'd be like, right, my 11 have to be fit. So how do I navigate around those games to make sure that everyone is fit? So it's a big shout, but I really hope it is Tanganga.
Yeah. And guys, a big shout out to Wayne Bonner. Right, thanks for support, Wayne. Wayne says 3-0 win today. Right. Yeah.
I'm going 2-0, Wayne. I'll take a 3-0.
Pick up as well.
Big up Mark. Yeah, big up
We've
Mark.
got Romero, Højbjerg, and Lo Celso out definitely.
Definitely, Højbjerg's definitely.
Højbjerg's not out.
He trained yesterday.
I don't think it's
Skip. Not Højbjerg.
It's not
Hobby.
Yeah, it's Lo Celso and Skip that are out in the midfield.
Yeah.
What about Son? Did Son pick up a niggle?
Yeah, but he played the next match afterwards. He played after that.
No, we'll see because the rumors did come back, right? Hobby, right? Hobby has a Hobby's got a
well, we all saw the horror tackle where he about got his leg broken. I mean, it wasn't. I'm exaggerating slightly.
No, we'll see, right? The choices, right? Don't forget, coming back from international break, we might be surprised who's going to be in our starting lineup. So that's the build up to the game at the moment, right? To tell the truth, we do need to win this. If we don't, we'll be very far behind. We have to be more or less there, right, guys? If we win this, we're 1 point behind Arsenal, and I think it puts us 7, if I'm not mistaken. Puts it at 7th spot, which is very good because there've been a very weird results going on at the top 4, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All the weird
That's
results.
I wanted to talk about too. Everyone at Christmas acts like the season is over or like the table is decided, and there's no way we're going to make top 4. I hear that all the time, but we've seen like this weekend the teams that are the big teams, they drop points all the time. Like no one is guaranteed to win the Premier League. There's no such thing as a guaranteed win against any team. It's not even Christmas. Like top 4 is a team.
We were first place last year at Christmas.
Yeah, we were first place now. Last year, don't forget. Now we were first place.
and so I definitely I think that top 4 is still possible, but I also know that
absolutely top 4 is possible.
Yeah. No, with Conte, there anything is possible,
It's
right?
not possible if we keep the same team.
The same players, you mean?
If we don't add players, it's not possible. Even with Conte, he's not a magician.
We do have players.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Not very
about?
good ones. Yeah, there's not very good ones.
Oh my God! Yes, they are good. They are good. You guys expect like world-class players out of everybody. No, not.
I mean,
even look
decent players at this stage.
We have just as good of players as Man United. We have just as good. We're as deep as Arsenal. We're as deep as we're better than Leicester. We're close to Liverpool. They just have a good coach and they're well trained. Conte is a world-class coach and he's got time. He'll get a tune out of our players. He can make he's one of those coaches that make players better.
Right. We of course, Sean. We do have the players there. The quality is there. It's just whether Conte gets a tune out of them. And
exactly.
In the end of the day, right? If he can't get a tune out of them, Conte knows what to do. That's Conte's job. See, that's why.
There's no way we're being successful under Conte. I get what you're saying, Sean, and I agree with you. We've got world-class players: Sonny, Kane, Lloris, Højbjerg potentially is world-class. The likes of
Romero could be.
Romero
could be. Eric Dyer. No, that's a joke. But we do have world-class players. It's a case of finding the players to suit a run. Now, I'm like Sean. There are going to be players. I've said this. There are going to be players who are going to come, who are going to get better, who are going to come to the fore. But there will be some players who aren't. Dembele for me can be one of the best midfielders in the world. He can. He pisses all over Pogba when it comes to ability. I truly believe that. Now, hopefully, we've got a coaching that's going to bring the best out of him. And when you think about it, if you look at it that way, with the Lloris, with the Romero, with a Emerson, maybe not, but with the Lloris, with a Romero, with a Højbjerg, with an Dembele, with a Kane, with a Son, that's 6 players. That's 6 potentially world-class players. It's about everyone else chipping in, and he will have to spend money.
Let me just add that, we have never, ever seen Doherty play right wing back. We've never seen him play as that right wing back. We've always seen him as a full back.
Yeah.
Let him play in his natural position of right wing back. I bet you we get a tune out of him.
Do you know what, Sean? We have occasionally, very, very occasionally, played him as a fullback. But the thing is, compared to, we bought him as an attacking fullback, and Jose was playing him as a completely defensive. Don't go forward. You're like shackling him. I totally agree with you. Don't get me wrong. He had a shocking.
Oh, absolutely.
Spurs, but you got to remember, for the first 2 seasons, Mr. Sissoko was diabolical. Then he had that one and a half seasons where he was instrumental. I'm not saying that Doherty can turn it around, and Doherty is going to all of a sudden become the best and live up to the hype he did at Wolves. But when you start looking at the January transfer window and future players coming in, the way I've looked at it is the necessity in January is a striker and creative midfielder, because we have none. Apart from Kane, obviously, we don't have a backup, we don't have competition, and for Eriksen, we have nothing. Right wing backs, we have plenty. Right backs, we have plenty. Defence, we have plenty. Midfield, we have plenty. So why go trying to upgrade these players straight away when they're not for me, they're not the necessity. The necessity is the players that we have not got, and we don't have depth in, and we need a striker to be genuine competition to Kane, and it is only one striker, and we're all talking about it. And the worrying thing is Newcastle have started saying they're interested. So I would like it or not, it is a huge concern. If you're
I don't see Vlahovic going to Newcastle.
Mate, money talks. Don't get me wrong. I think we're in pole position. Don't get me wrong. I think we're in pole position. I think we will get him. I think
Eugene.
we will get him.
Eugene's in pole position secretly.
But literally, I
that was a good one, Jamie.
I think that whenever Newcastle, basically, it's right. Okay, we're going to have to up the wages. We're going to have to do it, and it could be the sticky point. But the places we need is those 2 positions. And Matt Doherty, as we're going back to it, I completely agree with you, because he needs 5 or 6 games totally at right wing back, saying go do your thing that you did at Wolves. And then people can judge. Don't get me wrong. Right now, he's been shocking, absolutely abysmal. But we have not played. Listen, I keep going on about this. When we signed Bergwijn because we wanted a striker, but we got a right winger. But then we signed a right wing back to play as right wing back, but we didn't play him as right wing back. We played Bergwijn, who we signed as a right winger, to play at right. This is a mess that has been Spurs, and we have not given people a long enough run in their chosen position to say, right.
We played every player out of position.
Exactly, and I agree with you. I think Doherty deserves and I'm sure he will feature at some point in Christmas. I'm sure he will.
Doherty can be better, but I don't know about top 4 level better. Like some of the things he's making aren't because he's playing out of position. He can't make simple passes. That's not because he's playing right back instead of.
But have you seen the dude play for Ireland? Like he clearly does. He clearly can ball.
Yeah, but
like he knows how to play football.
Yeah, he can for Ireland, but you can't really compare like that. Like because like we were playing the likes of Luxembourg. Like and I reckon even Ali could play have a great game against them. Like.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. That's also a fair point. It's just hard for me. Like the boy clearly, he's my age probably, but he's clearly got talent. You know what I mean? He's not a garbage player. I mean we saw.
When you say to a player, and forget that he's now Matt Doherty player. When you say to a player who played for Wolves, they were the second most creative player in a fullback position behind Trent Alexander for goals and assists for 2 years straight.
2 years, yeah.
I don't care who you are, you can play. Mm-hmm. You can play. So when you hear that stat, and I must admit, when we signed him, I thought, wow, that is a fucking great signing. But
especially with Nuno at the helm.
He came straight over, and then he had to go straight on international. Like he literally signed and then went over to Ireland. Then he caught COVID. Then he stop, start. Like I say with there's a couple of players, like people talk about Lascelles, or they talk about Rodon. It's like you can't judge these guys unless they have 10 straight games playing in their correct position.
Sessegnon.
Sessegnon will come good. Sessegnon will come good.
If he can just keep his knee intact.
It's just like the problem with Sessegnon. The problem with like he had with Fulham is, do you play him as a left wing back, or is he a left winger? And you've got to. And for me, he's a left wing back, and that's why when Jose sent him out to Hoffenheim, he said, "Listen, I'm sending you to Hoffenheim because they said they're going to play you at left wing back, and that's where I see you playing." So again, he's another player that needs. I think he's had one game here, one game there. He needs a consistent run of games to say, right, you've had 7, 8, whatever games you've played there, and this is now the evaluation of you. Just because he's been injured the whole time, you can't say, "Oh well, he's shit." You can't do that.
He's 21.
We just don't know, do we? He's
21. He's young. He still has time. There's going to be players sometimes they go through spells and injuries. Like everybody says, oh, Kane's ankle. Well, Kane injured his ankle back in 2015, and then he's recently injured it again. The other ones had nothing to do with his ankles. But everybody hops on, oh, Kane's got weak ankles. No, he doesn't.
There's a narrative. People like to jump onto a narrative and like to pile on to the, whatever is popular at the time.
Absolutely, 100%.
Guys, my biggest fear for our team now, right, our squad now, you know what is the Conte's training method. Will they get burnt out or pick up injuries along the way? Don't forget, if the training is like 2 times a day, double training, highly intense and all that, it can aggravate a lot of muscles that has been lying dormant. Our players don't give them.
I think that's something that Ndombele required.
Yeah.
Well,
guys, I'm an Inter fan.
Yeah, I think
they're my second team.
That Conte is
we
smart,
didn't have very many injuries at Inter.
Okay, all right.
I think even if they're pushing the players really hard, I think that they're doing it in an intelligent way, and that they have a lot of staff and a big team there to make sure that the players aren't hurt or not.
This is also why he has 3 fitness coaches.
Right. Yeah.
They have 3 fitness coaches. They will be monitoring it, and like I said, I'm sure one's better on recovery. Like they're all brilliant, but one's probably better on recovery. One's better on fit, whatever. Listen, these players, you got to remember, during the peak Poch, we didn't really get injuries. We got the odd one here and there, but it wasn't a collective. And to tell you the truth, these guys have been so unfit that are probably not doing these trainings are probably made them more injury prone than not
what
regularly
I'm trying
working
to
out
say,
on these
yeah.
muscles. So obviously he's coming at Christmas where it doesn't matter if you have 1 training session a day, 2 training sessions a day, 5 training sessions a day. At Christmas time, the game is literally non-stop, and it's all about the recovery and how they rotate, and how this is where the managers earn their money, because they've got to think not just, okay, what team wins me this game? Okay, I don't want to injure this guy for the 3 months, 4 months, or pick up a knock. Then he's got to balance suspensions as well, because yellow cards will come thick and fast. So for me, do you know what, players? If you had done your goddamn job originally under Nuno and Jose, you wouldn't have to have these double training sessions to get where you need to be for Conte. And if you gave blood, sweat, and tears, you might have been in a better condition. So it wasn't deemed necessary. So basically, your days of thinking you run the asylum and everything going on and everything's a fun and games and a party, and let's play Uno and let's talk about our 3 favourite chocolate bars, those days are over. You run, you will be stretching, you will go home absolutely battered, and you totally brought it on yourself. Totally.
Yep.
And on that note, I need to start
minute.
going. I need to start making my way to get ready to go to Scotland Yard. I can't
Oh,
wait.
yes,
First
yes,
time since
yes.
I've been back. I cannot wait. So I'm going to leave you
Enjoy
all,
yourself,
guys.
Diego.
If you were still in London, I'd be worried about you saying you was going to Scotland Yard. But
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Exactly. So
Hey, be
And,
safe.
and
I
Brian,
have a good one, man.
just
See you
plug
later,
your
Brian.
channel when your show's coming up and all that.
yeah, I mean, I heard someone on Bob Spurs channel plug it as well yesterday about a new member to the team, so we're going to get a double plug.
Who was that handsome? Who's that handsome man?
So
Oh,
I'll
God.
announce it now.
Well, hold on. We've had spanking, pounding, humping, and now
Plugging.
double plug. All right.
Brian Ireland and I are
Oh,
very,
dear.
very, 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 very lucky to have Adam joining us regularly.
Thank you.
That's good.
And it's he is a superstar that has been in the chats of all the channels, supporting everyone. And recently, as he said, he's been coming on screen.
Hey, Mr. K.
He's actually,
Mr.
like
K.
he said when we did the goodbye to me in London, that you all did, and thank you so much for that once again. And Brian Ireland and him got speaking, and Brian Ireland's in the kind of field that could support Adam in his university, so he's doing a bit of work with Brian Ireland, and
Hopefully,
through that, you're going to see a lot more of Adam from us, which is fantastic, because he's a. Do you know what? You know what? When it comes from anyone else, you're like, "What the fuck do you say?" When it comes from Bob, you're like, "Oh, he likes me. He really likes me." So you're going to see a lot more from Adam on the Tottenham on tour. We really
looking
are
forward to it.
on the push. And so, Sean, we need to talk to you because Brian and I want to go ahead with you know what. So listen.
Okay. Sounds good.
Secrets now.
Tottenham on tour. Listen, we're now over 750 subscribers. We are on the real push for 1,000.
Dang.
Brian Ireland and I
Yeah.
have got a lot of shows planned up. There's a big one coming up in December with someone. I'm not going to say any names or anything, but it's going to be a big show.
I have a guess.
We're going to do a lot around the transfer deadline. Transfer deadline day.
Now I know who it is.
Transfer deadline day. We're going to do a complete parody. It's not that show that I'm talking about, by the way. But we're Brian Ireland and I are going to do a complete transfer parody.
You wasn't thinking BJ?
We're going to be doing stuff like looking over past transfer deadline days and what has gone on, and having quizzes and games and everything. So there's just so much coming on the push to 1,000. But yeah, you can find me on Tottenham on tour, and I'll leave it there because I know when you end this 58 million hour stream, Adam will do the job as well. So all I will say, I did say today was going to be 6-1, but that's before I heard about Romero and everything. So I'm going down for a respectable 4-1 now. So I'm very, very confident. Guys,
which direction?
Let's make it happen.
Come on, Jamie. Come on. Let me do my Jewish. Come on. So yeah, listen.
Let me do my Jewish come on.
No, I almost got a show. I almost got to a show where he didn't come to me. But no, honestly, guys, have a great show. Love you all. Bob will speak later on, brother.
Give me a call, Diego.
Sure, will do, mate. I will get me and Brian to give you a call today or tomorrow. 1 billion%.
Okay.
But guys, speak to you soon. Love you all. As always, leave you out.
Exactly.
Right.
Amen to that.
Mr. K, if you want to hop on, there's one more empty spot before someone takes it.
I think Shane wants to say something, mate.
Shane, go ahead.
I'm actually going to follow Brian out the door. I'm still not feeling great, so I'm going to...
Was it COVID, Shane? Was it COVID?
Honey or whiskey?
No, mate, chest infection and tonsillitis.
Or at the same time, that's rough.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
So, I'm
You can't have ice cream. It's two different stuff at the same time.
Yeah, no, I thought when I had my tonsils out, I thought I was going to get ice cream. I got dried toast.
I still got mine.
When you got tonsillitis and you couldn't speak, Jamie, there were celebrations going on around the fucking world.
It was the good nearly 30 years ago. So, Stum.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Big up, Shane.
Hey, good to see you. Shane, feel better soon, man. Take care of yourself.
Good night.
Right?
Take care.
Get well soon, Shane.
Spurs 4-1.
4-1.
4-1. A lot of 4-1 predictions today.
Gone.
Yeah.
Shane's a legend.
Yeah, Shane needs to rest. Yeah, pity him. Right, having all the ailments and all that. Right, but he's a good guy. He just hopped on to have his few says on our show. He's been with us for a very long time, right? On Spursation. Right, thanks for his support. Right, and Mr. K. Okay, I've woken up with Daigle throat. What, Mr. K saying now?
Dodgy.
Oh, dodgy throat.
No, not Daigle down his throat. Daigle down his throat and chest.
Oh, yeah.
Extreme statements and
Daigle's Jewish come on obviously worked.
Oh,
You didn't choke to my Oreo.
Yeah.
This stream might get reported. Are we breaking any rules here?
No. Just long we don't show anything. That's why I don't do clips, Colin. That's why.
Yeah,
I had to do.
No clips.
Put it away, Colin. Put it away.
Yeah. No clips. No copyright rules broken. Right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So
That's it. Yeah.
I learned
Keep
my
it
lesson.
simple. Keep it simple. Yeah. But guys, to tell the truth, Conte is in. Whatever players he puts out there today, right? I guess he will be going for the win because he needs to at least, start somewhere, right? This winning mentality that he's trying to put into the players, they have to win first to gain that mentality, right? So let's hope he can actually find a tune out of our players, right? Sean has a lot of confidence that a lot of our players do have the quality to go to the next level, right? But a lot of us here in the panel, I guess we do feel a bit, I don't think we do have enough, but we're not going to doubt whatever Conte does.
But there's nothing wrong, Eugene, with calling shit players shit or average players average. We've got average players. There's no denying that we've got average players. I mean, our hope is the reason why coaches are coaches, regardless of what I think of Pep, the reason why we've got good coaches is because they will come in and make world-class players better or play in a system, like Sean says, that suits them.
I mean, the Victor Moses thing is no joke.
There you go. Ashley Young,
even Lukaku. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like,
Lukaku was a laughing stock. He was so
Lukaku was a prime example.
Yeah,
he made Eriksen play defense.
Yeah.
And won a title with them. That's insane.
He will stick to that 3-4-3, 3-5-2 formation, regardless. Now, there is the element of world-class players should be able to adapt to any formation, but he's not going to say, "Here's my formation, there you go." He will work with the players and make sure they can fit into that. There's no logic behind a world-class manager coming in saying, "This is my formation, go and do whatever you want." The reason he's a world-class coach, he'll coach them to play in that formation. He'll make the world-class players fit into that formation. I don't think it's going to be a case of, right, it's a clean slate. I said this the other day. In his last game for Chelsea against Spurs, since then he's gone away, won trophies left, right and centre, come back, and there's still 7 players from that squad in the Spurs squad still from the time when he left. Ali, Davis, Dyer, Lloris, Sonny, Kane, and Winks. They're still there. So it will be a case of, this is me, this is what you need to do. Show me you've got it, and if you've got it, I will coach you how to do it, and I'll make you better. Well, I believe some average players will come out the other side and will surprise us. The fact Ben Davies has been potentially talked about, a man of the match performance in the first 2 games, says to me it's been a miracle in itself. But there will be other players who will probably come out the other side. But we've got world-class players. He will need to spend money, and we will get better. We will get better.
Yeah. There's one.
But
there's
guys,
one thing.
hold on, guys. Hold on for a shot. Let me bring
Okay,
someone in.
go ahead.
All right, Mr. K. Good
Hey.
afternoon.
Let me just quickly cough up a Daigle. Right, that's the Daigle out my throat.
All right.
Hi, guys.
You shouldn't even be in there.
Okay.
Big up to Derek Hutchinson. Yeah.
You feeling a win today, man?
Always 4-1, man. Always 4-1.
Yeah, Mr. K is a 4-1. Yeah, he's always been predicting 4-1 ever since I know him. It never changes. Yeah.
No,
Apart from that one game, right? Did you change your score for the Everton game?
I had issues at the time. I think I was must be a little bit sick, not being myself there. But yeah, I think Bob Spurs absolutely spot on there. This is one of those situations where look, we're going to find out what's really going on with our club with this particular match, because this is just a little bit enough time for Conte to have an effect. Before it was just talk, a little bit of basic stuff, but at the end of the day, the players were really playing within their own skin. They may have copied 1 or 2 little bits and pieces that they did from training. Conte got a little bit happy, saying, wow, okay, look, they did that, they scored a goal. But now we're going to find out. Leeds and us, I think we've got more than enough quality to overcome them. But is this going to be one of our... I'm not afraid. In Conte, I trust. One second.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. That's like what Bob said, what Mr. K said, right? It's all down to Conte, right? Whether the players
down to
are
Levy and Enoch, mate.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
For the time being, it's down to Conte.
For the time being,
for the time being, it's down to Conte.
Paratici maybe even.
Paratici. No, because now until the transfer window opens, it's all down to Conte. What he can get out of the players, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
and Sean, go ahead. You were saying something before Mr. K hopped in. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's a lot of coaches employ it, some better than others. Conte does a lot of shadow training, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with what shadow training is. It's basically lining the players up and telling, okay, you do this, and then you do this, and then he tells all the players what they should be doing if this happens, and then
the
they
ball's
pass.
not there. That's what I like the best about it. There's no ball involved usually.
And there's no ball. It's all movement. So he teaches everybody how to move, when to move, and situations. And if somebody makes a mistake, you start over. And he just drills that one right after another, and he continues and continues and continues to do that. And it trains the team how to play as a team and not the individual. And that's where I think you get a lot of comments like Deli and Winks and Ndombele, where they will learn to play with the team, or you won't be playing. Period. With Conte, my second team is Inter. It was my first team. I'm a Klinsmann fan, so Klinsmann was playing for Inter when he became my hero, and then he came to Spurs, and the club stole my heart.
Right.
So
glad you're here, mate.
Well, I've been here for 30 odd years now. So
longer than I've been alive.
Sean, where's hair? Are you in a tent or something?
Actually, yes, I am.
Are you?
So it looked
How
like.
many times have you, Sean? How many times have you cursed Jurgen Klinsmann? You bastard! Of all clubs to go to.
A few times.
Yeah,
a few times. Yeah, but I'm a bad American, but I don't support the USA team. I've always been an England fan.
It's hard. It's hard to support the USA team. It's getting easier now that there's
quality
coming through.
They're going to be really scary
I can't wait for
not this
I can't wait
World
for
Cup,
Weah to
but the
grow up.
next World Cup, they're going to be really scary.
What's his first name?
We've heard that
Weah?
before, though.
Yeah, Klinsmann managed USA. How did you feel that?
I don't think they gave him enough time, but the players just weren't responding to him.
Yeah.
But the quality wasn't there. But this young group, they have like a golden generation. I mean, like better than the Dempsey, Brett Donovan. These kids are good. Like I would love to see Pepe or Musa or Wea or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Those kids are good. I would take any of them. McKennie, he's got an attitude problem. I mean, you guys think Ndombele has an attitude problem. McKennie's got an attitude problem. But
oh god.
But, you know, McKennie would be actually probably a really good fit for Spurs. I hate to say it, but I really do think he would be a good fit for Spurs. Because he plays both ends. He's a good box to box, and Conte would make him better.
Oh my gosh! Hey, who was that? Who's that guy? Savitzer. Do you remember how badly we wanted him, and then how badly he? Did you guys see how poorly he played? Like recently, I think was it just yesterday that he made that
for Bayern.
No, he played really good yesterday. Actually, it was a couple of weeks ago. It was a couple of weeks ago that he played pretty poorly.
Yeah, like
where did he go?
But the last couple games out, he's been playing pretty good.
No, where did he go?
I'm talking out of my ass.
He's at Bayern Munich.
He's at Bayern Munich, right? Yeah. But Bayern lost on Friday to Augsburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Colin,
that was a shocker. Like,
Colin, you got to remember that Doherty, right? Yeah, played out of his skin before he came to our team as well. And it seems that a lot of players seem to be playing very well, and then we buy them, and then they play like shite for a while.
Yeah.
And then they go somewhere else and start winning trophies.
You know,
oh yeah,
we gotta wonder where the problem actually lies, and it's tough. It's really tough.
Look, you got to remember that also there seems to be injury problems, right? Yeah, that seem to occur to players when they come to Tottenham. And I know that we've got a whole spectrum of different types of injuries, and I know that hamstring injuries are common as much as injuries that happen to footballers, but they seem to be happening sometimes a lot to our players. I mean, I've always scratched my head wondering, why do certain players keep getting the same injuries all the time?
Voodoo involved, or like a curse?
Have we thought of this? Is that they haven't been trained properly?
Lack of cover as well. I just want to ask, and I'm interested to see, because I know I'll probably speak for Scott, but Paratici, why is he given all this accolade when Conte comes in? It's because of him. There is no way we would have got Conte because of probably. But why can't we point out the shit things that he's done as well? I.e., forcing.
Oh, I can.
Leaving to bring
I can't. I'm scared of him.
You can, but you also have to. We okay. I think all the time we see him on two different levels. And it's the same people seeing him two different ways, so it confuses me. There's the people that say he's a puppet. He has no control over anything. He's Levy's puppet. He's
I don't believe that. Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome. Because I don't either. And then, but there's a lot of people, Bob, that do, and you've heard them, and we've heard them. We've all heard it. And then at the same time, there's people that say, oh well, he's responsible for this good thing and this bad thing. Well, I just want some people to choose and decide whether he is a puppet or he isn't. Because if he's a puppet, then none of it's his fault.
My issue isn't about saying he's a puppet or whatever. My issue is the fan base so reluctant to. I can't even get the word.
Reluctant.
Reluctant to actually to say he's done certain things in the club that are shit. That are shit. You know, you can't believe reports that is supposedly done to suit your own narrative. You know, people want to believe when we were top of the league. Look at him. If it wasn't for him to convince Levy by showing him all these Valencia tapes, Nuno would not be here. And then Nuno turned shit.
But who did we have? Who did we have to get instead? I just feel like we were screwed at that point. 70 some days without a manager. I feel like he pushed for somebody that he knew.
Yeah, that's a bigger chat, Colin. That's a bigger.
Bobby, my take on this, right? Yeah, is basically it doesn't matter if he does a good job or a crap job. At least he's a footballing person doing a job.
Yeah.
And you know, at the end of the day, he's got an eye.
No. But what I'm saying is he has an eye.
Yeah.
He has a scouting eye, so he may get things wrong. All human beings do. Everyone in positions of any type of position do
Nothing wrong with
sometimes.
that, yeah.
But the thing is here is what I rather trust this particular guy getting something wrong than the way Levy gets something wrong. Because when Levy gets it wrong, oh my days. It's like we live with it year after year because that contract never leaves us. I mean, if you look at Sissoko, for example, right, it's like, he's done a fantastic job at Watford right now. And if he'd scored that goal the other day, oh my days, that would have been absolutely amazing.
We all knew he wasn't going to. Oh my God.
But that was so close. It was like a yard away from that 30-yard drive he did. But look, at the end of the day, this is one of the issues that we have, is that we know that Paratici, whether he gets it right or wrong, he's trying to make a footballing decision. But when Levy makes a decision, his motivation is purely business.
I'm still yet to be convinced. I think Scott's in the same boat.
Yeah, 100%. And that's not just because of what he's done here. It's what he did at Juventus, right?
Yeah.
Morata,
I'm not.
Now Juventus was 4th last year, and I think they're currently 7th or something, right? And that's,
I tell you the truth,
we cannot done nothing without Morata.
We cannot turn around and look
at exactly
and say he's done anything right now, because he hasn't. I don't believe he's had enough time to get his stamp on terms of our recruitment policy. It's going to take a little bit of a time before he does so. And maybe you're absolutely right. The history has shown that when he went to Juventus, he went as a pair, him and Morata together. And when they were making decisions, he would do stuff in the background, Morata would do stuff in the front. And
that's what's going to be happening here too.
Yeah. Well, when they gave him the sole position, even the Italians will turn around and say that maybe that was just too much for him at that particular time. But an awful lot of people that I've listened to that are on the Italian side, they've turned around and said that maybe he's learned from that and he needed to mature for that. And moving to Tottenham is a good move for him.
To get a clean slate.
To get not only a clean slate, but also to at the level that he's at. Because, can we be comparing ourselves in the English league like Juventus compares themselves in the Italian league? Are we at the same similar levels? And the answer is Juventus is slightly higher. Their prestige is slightly higher. The expectation is slightly higher, whereas ours is a building job, is a rebuild job. And for that, I think Paratici is slightly better because he gets bargains. That'll keep Levy happy. But he also spots talent, which is yet to grow, rather than talent that's like really great last season and crap this season.
I just think with any young player, I mean, Skippy, I say do about Skippy. Let's give him time. Let's not big him up too much. But what my issue is we do that as Spurs fans. A lot of people, I'll do it, of course, but a lot of people to jump on the whole Don Paratici thing. I've got to say, just chill out. Let's give it a bit of time, because I want him to be the best director of football ever for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Of course, I don't. But I just think if we build him up so much.
Yep.
We've
heard this before. We've seen this before as well. No. I'm listening to you because we've seen it and heard it before when the Jose thing happened, right? You started saying exactly the same things. You had to listen. Before we build this man up, let's see what he can do.
Exactly.
And you threw caution out there, and you're right. People out there, especially Spurs fans, we got a little bit hysterical. We started,
especially when we were top of the league.
Spurs fans, hysterical. No, don't say it so.
So you're right to have a little bit of caution, because to a certain degree, he looks a bit like a reject from that Italian league.
Okay.
It's like if he was so successful, what's he doing over here?
I'm a bit of an Italian specialist, and I've studied what he's done at Juventus. The first 7 years, Don Paratici, you guys got me calling him Don, and he's not a goddamn Don. Okay.
Hold Bob back, everyone. Hold him back.
All right. So Paratici was basically head of scouting for Juventus. And so what he would do is he would lay talent at Morata's feet, and Morata would do the deals. Now, what I think is happening here with Spurs is it's going to be pretty much the same thing, except he's going to have much more of a say. But Levy is still going to be doing the negotiating.
Of course.
But
financial negotiating.
Financially, he's going to be
losing
running the contract and the numbers. So I think we're going to be losing a few transfers. I don't know. But it's going to be basically the same setup. Levy's going to be Morata, and Paratici is going to be basically a little bit above where he was with Morata. the thing, because when Paratici took over for Murata, that's when Juve's decline started. It started the decline. He made bad signings. He brought in Ramsey. He brought in Rabiot. He brought in Ronaldo, who destroyed their finances. Ronaldo was getting $1 million a goal.
What?
Goal?
Yeah.
No, I'm not
$1 million
joking. He was
a goal.
He was getting.
And he scores like 37 a season.
He was getting $1 million per goal. Fact.
Those were the bonuses that they add for.
No wonder he took so many free kicks then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
isn't
scored
this a bit like
33,
hitching?
he got $1 million.
Isn't this like hitching plus plus?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think he's gonna. I'm gonna say, yeah, Hitchens is a good scout. He is. He's Modric, Bale, Esau Koto, a lot of our younger players. Hitchens is a good scout. Liverpool, when he went to Liverpool, he had Salah, Mane.
Man,
So,
anybody with a brain could tell Mane was going to be good. I was so frustrated that we didn't.
Oh,
my
man.
God! We were linked, and,
Fernandes as well.
dude. I don't know if you're on Reddit ever, but people on Reddit were like, "Oh, he's not ready. He can't do it."
But Sean,
Oh my God.
The main key word that you pointed out there just now, right? It's Paratici, and after he finds the players, he will put it towards Levy. So, like in the end of the day, what we are saying now is right. Levy still makes the final decisions on buying the players. That is what we do not want, you see. Right? We want the footballing people to do the decisions. But even if Levy doesn't make the decisions to buy the player, right, he will meddle his hands into the finance. Maybe the team is willing to sell once 10 million up front. Levy will come and say, oh, no, I'm going to give you 3 first. Right? And that will screw everything up again. That's the sad part of what's been happening here.
Mr. K knows I've never, ever, and never will diss Hitchin. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Not every single
What about
director of football
Stevenage?
not every single director of football will get every single player right. And in Hitchin, it's not rumor, it's fact. He tried his best to get Skriniar in. Grealish was at the door ready to sign. From Aston Villa, they agreed a £6 million signing. He brought Dybala was further down the line. There's a lot more to Dybala, of course.
Yeah.
No, Bobby's absolutely right.
Bruno Fernandes. He had the players
lined up
at the desk, lined up, ready to sign dotted line. The one person who the buck literally stopped with Levy. So Hitchin,
and it still does.
Exactly, and it still does. So Hitchin for me. The one thing's always held against him when he says, I fucking hate January windows. And let's be honest, there's not a single manager. Every manager turns around and says, I hate January windows. But because Hitchin says it, he's made a scapegoat about it. I have no issue with Hitchin.
This is the interesting thing about the fact when this whole thing came out. Sorry, Scott. This is interesting. I just want to put my tinfoil hat on for 1 second, right? Yeah. Is that when Hitchin, when it comes to the media and when it comes to blasting someone inside Spurs, with the way that we've seen it happen over the last 2 seasons, there seems to be a familiar pattern. And Alistair Gold came out on his video and did an emotional defense of Hitchin. Very passionate defense, saying this is absolute rubbish. This guy's an absolute gold geezer, and why he's getting all this? Why he's getting all the hate? Now I've seen this type of hate before. It's the same. It tastes exactly the same type of hate that Kane was getting. It tastes exactly the type of hate that I see Danny Rose get. It's the same type of hate that I saw, Sissoko go through as well. So it seems to me that there's an awful lot of deflection that seems to go on in our club, and there's a band of people that will pump this into the media and get it into prime time, right? And we as Spurs fans, we can't help but respond to things that are going on in mainstream, and then it become talking points. It seems to be too happening again and again and again. That's my tinfoil hat anyway. Sorry, Scott.
Go ahead, Scott.
I
was just going to say, with Hitchin, I don't think he's as terrible as people make it out to be, but a lot of those names you mentioned, Bob, were guys that we as fans knew too, right? So if all he's doing is bringing in people who are well known to be good players.
Oh, come on. You guys didn't know before Fernandes brought him in.
That's true.
None of you guys follow Porto.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was until his name was
Don't
mentioned.
start with that.
Brian Gill. I can't wait for him to develop.
We all had to Google Brian Hill, Pepe
Yeah,
Sarr.
Hill.
We all had
Bruno
to.
Fernandes even.
Emerson. Let's be honest. We didn't know who's from. But so at this time moment, we're still googling players. But I just think.
But they're level up.
There is putting Hitchin to one side. I do need to get off for like 2 minutes. So. But putting Hitchin to one
Another
side.
Dyer.
Yeah. But if you're telling me, a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah," and this is a big whole different topic. But Hitchin didn't bring X, Y, Z in. Levy's always backed him. I'm telling you now, and not many things you can guarantee.
No, I'm not saying that. No.
I know. But there's not many things you can guarantee. But I guarantee you what, with an extra £40 million on top of the players that we signed instead of, say, a Fernandez, £40 million on top of what we spent, we could have had the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Skriniar, Dybala, and who was the other one I mentioned? Grealish. If you're telling me these four players could have come in and made us not guarantee success, but a better chance of a success of them four players being in the Champions League final, I guarantee you would have had a better chance of winning trophies with them four in. And them four I use in particular because it's well renowned, well known that they were going to sign for us, and because of Levy and Iniesta didn't happen. Dybala's a bit
Levy's
more
definitely much more of a problem than Hitchin. And I'm not saying that Hitchin is pure crap. I'm just saying I don't know if I've seen things that he's amazing. I mean, it's probably just like most people, he's okay or decent, right? He's better than he comes across and the narrative is about him, but I'm not sure at the same time that he's going to bring in amazing players.
All I think, Scott, I just think he gets unfairly treated amongst the fan base. He gets a lot of shit when I don't think he deserves it sometimes.
No, I agree. He's not as bad, and Levy is by far the biggest issue.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Levy has no judge of talent, and he's a tightwad.
Yep.
Yeah. Well put, Sean. Well put.
Yep, Adam.
And also, going on to the players who no one knows and who we had to Google. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as they're good players. It's okay, fair enough. You never heard of them, but as long as they turn out good and they help us to trophies and stuff. I don't think it really matters. It's if they're obscure and they turn out crap or even just half decent, it's where the problem lies. They can turn out to be absolute bargains.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Hill looks the real
deal.
I'm just going to get a drink. I'm just going to get a drink, Eugene. All right.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. All right.
Well,
but okay, we come down to all this that we are talking about, right? But in the end of the day, now we've got Conte. Whatever has happened in the past is the past, correct? We can't change the past. It's already happened. Okay. Now only we can look forward, right? And by looking forward, right, we're looking to Conte, Paratici, and the Levy relationship between these two guys and Levy, right? And if you are saying that, Levy has said, okay, I'm giving you a £50 million budget, right? Cash here now for you to spend, not including with the players you sell, then you can build out a budget and you use it the way you want to, right? Not based on what Levy wants to. But the problem that has never actually happened before, if I'm not mistaken, ever since Levy's been in charge, right? So if now this project fails, okay, whether it's a short-term project or a long-term project, because if it turns into a long-term project, right, that means there is certain success there, correct?
Yeah.
Right? If it's not successful, right, I don't think Conte is going to be there, right? And we all know that if Conte doesn't get what he wants, right, he won't be there, right? But we haven't seen the other side of the coin yet. For all you know, our club is very, very good in all this PR, smoke and mirrors, play this, play that, to lead the fan base to a certain way to think, right? And a lot of us will lap it up. And of course, I myself, in the beginning, you will lap it up first because you're excited, right? You follow the trend. Oh, yeah, right? Don Paratici. But when you sit back, right, then you think, why did Don Paratici get Nuno, right? And then 4 months later, sack him. And then after that, he said, Don Paratici has got Conte actually lined up to replace Nuno or some kind of narrative like that. But we do not know actually what happened, right? But based on all reports that, wherever Conte goes, he demands a kitty, correct? So, and that's why a lot of fan base now feels very confident because Conte is with us, and Levy more or less has promised him a kitty to use. Okay, I'm not going to say it's 200 million pounds, 300 million pounds, 400 million pounds. We do not know how much, but there must be a certain amount of money there that's been promised to Conte to use to buy players either in January or in the summer transfer window. Correct.
Didn't someone put around some information about according to the fair play rules regards finances that we actually had the most to spend?
We are allowed to spend up to 400 million. Allowed to.
Yeah.
Not we have the money sitting in the bank and ready to go, right?
The money sitting in the bank is 123.
The money. Okay, that's good, Sean.
I know that we also have access to very low interest loans because of Joe Lewis.
No, we don't even want to go into the mortgage.
No, Joe Lewis doesn't loan us any money.
No, he doesn't. But he himself has access to low interest loans because he is a wealthy man. Like he doesn't loan us his money, but he has access to loans.
So is Levy. Levy's a billionaire.
Yeah. Hi. Big shout out to Simon. Right.
Big up, Simon.
Sai.
Hey, Simon.
Thanks for support. Right. And yes, big up Eugene. Right, great panel. Hope everyone.
Listen,
Conte's first home league game to a 4-0. Yes, Mr. K, you were saying?
I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on again. It seems to be one of them days. I've got a rather weird suggestion inside my head that's popped up, and that is maybe it's not Levy that's manipulating the media. Maybe we've just got toxic fans, and we just can't put the mirror on.
Oh, say it isn't so. We're not toxic.
We're just giving him more credit. We're giving him more credit than he deserves.
We don't hop on every narrative that runs in the media. No, not us.
No. You see, the Mr. K, news comes out from the club, right? It's always released by the club, right? And when they feed it out, and they will want us to play it up, certain news, they want us to play down certain news. They know they have their way of doing it, but a lot of the source, I guess, will come from the club. I don't think there's some Spurs supporters sitting in the room now, like, thinking of some kind of devious scheme, right? Maybe being paid by Levy to do something like that. I don't think that's happening. Right? But what I understand what you're saying is, right, whenever anything turns toxic, right, it's always the fan base that brings it to that realm. You see?
Yep. I also believe that our fan base is also a third tin hat, fourth hat comes in my head. I also believe that it's possible that we have interference from outside our fan base, because we have been very much manipulated in the media in terms of punditry, in terms of other fans that have been ribbing us for absolute decades now, and the media itself tends to laugh at things. And it could be that there's parts of our fan base which are just completely nutters, right? Yeah, as we are, but on the opposite scale, where they just would like to stir things up, or maybe they're just passionate about what they actually believe in. They're just absolutely crazy. There's unhealthy debates which go on about certain players at the wrong times, and it seems to take up the Twitterverse. And I sit there and I go, why are we discussing this? We know what the problems with our players are, and you're talking about getting rid of Stevie B. Right. So I remember a year ago, the situation with some of our players that we wanted to get out. And while we were discussing them, somebody put out into Twitter, Stevie B is rubbish. We need to get rid of him. Discuss points, unpopular opinion. And instead of discussing getting rid of the crappy players like Davis, Winksy, at the time, Sissoko and Aurea, the discussion all moved to Lo Celso and Stevie B. And that discussion has never, ever stopped.
Yeah. No, I think this is because of this unpopular opinion thing. You see, whenever you say this unpopular opinion thing, right, you play devil's advocate, you throw it out there. And that's where you get all these toxic buildup, right? So a lot of these people who do this, right, using the unpopular opinion kind of thing, because we do shows using unpopular opinion, so to get a reaction from fans and all that. So maybe it's transferred to Twitter, the Twitter world and all that, which I tell you, I don't care about that much. Right? Twitter is very toxic. Twitterverse, Twitterverse, right? But in the end of the day, it's still the fans who bring out the story, right? Especially like for us, we have a YouTube channel. We go on, we talk about it, right? We are the ones who actually drive what the fans want to listen, right? But a lot of times we go to the chats, we ask the fans, how do you feel about this? But these fans coming on the chat with us, right, in the chats and the comments, right, they already been exposed to the negative elements. So when they come on, sometimes they will let that negative elements flow out, right?
One of the one of the aims of our channel was to, because of being global and not being stuck in the London bubble, was so we would be able to give a fresh take rather than have the echo chamber.
Yep.
I think a lot of it comes from the lack of success, right? Like, think about how much we talk about that one night in Amsterdam, right, and the Ajax game, and how much we focus on that, right?
Okay,
and
Scott,
the lack of success.
Hold on, Scott. Spanking, pounding, humping. What's the other one?
Plugging.
Yes,
plugging. Double plugging, and now one night in Amsterdam.
all of it happened one night in Amsterdam.
All right, it's all in one night in Amsterdam. Okay, go ahead, Scott. Sorry to disturb you. I just had to get it out.
With Canada, it's probably one night in Montreal or Toronto.
That doesn't sound.
One night in Bangkok.
That's
going back. It's like 1984, 85.
That's a song.
Yeah, it is, exactly.
Go on, Scott, but I'm going to interrupt you. Scott, you don't sound well. Scott, is your chest okay? Your voice sounds different today.
Oh yeah, I just have a.
You got the same thing as me then. Okay, good.
I'm feeling it too, guys.
Bagel throat.
I'm scratchy.
That also happened one night in Amsterdam.
Okay,
yes,
right.
Scott, sorry to disturb
Adam,
you.
No, you're good.
You were the young lad who came into our realm, and now you're being corrupted by the humour.
Hold on, Adam.
You know, Scott's a good example. I think Scott's a good example, right? Yeah, whereby he's gonna cut through the emotion and the sentiment, and see the facts as they're laid on the table, right? And this is one thing which is very strange with our fan base, is that sometimes the emotional sentiment blinds us from actually seeing the evidence which is on the table. And what we'll do is we'll start to make excuses. Well, like, for example, Lo Celso, right? With Lo Celso, yes, the facts which are on the table say very bad things. And the fan base, the fan inside me, turns around and says, well, he's been injured. He was injured for a long time. He came back too soon, got injured again, injured for a very long time again. Now he's come back. He's effectively had like a year and a half of not playing at top game. That's quite a long time. He needs to have a good long run. Now, the thing is that if you put a narrative out there that he's not really been injured and he's just really crap, right? So if you put that narrative out there, then every time he comes on the pitch and does something which ain't so healthy, then you'll turn and point to the fact and say, look, my stats back up this, what you're seeing, right? So what you're having is a fan base which is jumping onto Lo Celso's back, right, because of the facts which are there, and not giving him the time to progress into getting a decent run to get back to the stage he's at. Then also you'll turn around and say, well, how comes he plays really well for Argentina, and goes around and kissing the head of Messi, and yet when he comes to our club, he can't, he can't even do a corner, right? So then that narrative gets reinforced, right? Look, I don't know what is what. All I know is that as fans, we have a belief, and that belief sometimes overtakes our eyes.
Yeah. And let's get back to Scott. Yeah, Scott. Let's get back to Scott first. Scott, you were saying just now before I cut you off. Amsterdam.
No, it's pretty much that. I'm just saying, I think if we start to see a little bit more success, you'll start to see some of that toxicity go away, because now we're all frustrated and we're looking for outlets of that frustration, and we start to focus on individuals. And I don't know if I was saying it on this stream before, but I find that a lot of people, it's easier to focus on individuals, right? And put the blame on individuals than because then, if we just replace Lo Celso, we're going to be great. If we just get rid of Stevie B and bring in player X, now we're going to be good. Because that's a lot easier to think about than to say, you know what, we need to really overhaul the whole club and the way we do things. Because that's hard to do. And that takes time, and people don't want time, right? We want success. And so that's what I just think that if we start to see some more success, and if Conte comes in and is successful, we'll probably won't see that same level of toxicity. And it's not because fans have all of a sudden stopped becoming toxic. It's because, as they say, winning cures a whole lot of issues. And and I think it'll start to cure some of those issues in the fan base as well, right?
See with the microphone.
Yep. Who is scratching the mic?
It might be
Guys,
Sean.
No, it's not me.
Sean.
Hey, what's up, back, everybody? Sorry about that.
Sorry, I had to wipe my hands. I had to apply icy hot. Sorry, and I was like wiping.
Icy hot. This is getting sexy. Where are you putting the icy hot at, bro?
On my shoulder. On my,
Tell me more.
It's on my shoulder. I have a pinched nerve.
I have really bad shoulders. The shoulder's the weakest joint in the human body, and they go.
Sorry, Adam, you were saying. Let's get back to football.
I lost track, like what I was going to say.
Right.
Sorry,
we're talking about shoulders, like.
Yeah, guys, if we lose Prithvi, right, his phone has ran out of battery.
Yeah.
All right, Prithvi. Have your last words before your battery dies.
Like on an honest note, I don't really know when it would die. So I'm just hoping.
Yeah. How many percent is that now?
It's at 5 at the
moment.
moment.
Okay, 5.
God,
yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, anytime it'll cut off. Give us a score prediction.
I'd say 4-1, just like Mr. K said.
Hey, who starts in midfield? Who do you think is going to start in midfield for us today?
I'd say it would be what do you say? Winks and Skip, probably. That's
Skip
what I've heard.
Suspended.
I'm basing this off of.
Skip suspended.
Oh yeah. Skip is suspended. Okay, then it's Winks and Højbjerg. I'm not really sure.
No. It's Winky.
Winky.
Yeah.
See, that's what starts it.
Winky and
Hobby. You guys don't think these guys watch and listen to media and YouTube, and you guys diss them like that. Winksy, moon boots. You know, it's just we slam our team more than we slam any other team. And
hold on, Sean.
It's almost disgusting.
This is not slamming them. We're just
this
repeating
is
what
like a loving.
Conte called them in the interview the other day.
Just ask Bob about his catchphrase.
No, we're not slamming them. It's the terms that which Conte did his interview the other day. He called.
Oh, I know. I understand that, but before that, I mean, you guys got people calling him stinky.
Oh,
no.
We got the calling him worse.
I was never on the movement train either. To be honest, I think Dyer. I kind of rate Dyer. I don't want to get slammed by everybody. I never say that like really on stream because it's a very unpopular opinion. But I actually sort of rate Dyer.
I used to love Dyer.
Can I just play the moral high ground? Can I just play the moral high ground? I defy anyone to show me a clip of me where I've given someone a nickname or derogatory, not derogatory, or taking the piss nickname. I'll call them out. If I think they're shit, I'll call them out and I'll back it up with fact stats and
I'll clip everything.
Guys,
I think I've definitely called people nicknames, so I'm guilty.
On some more tinfoil.
I don't know if my internet's going or not.
Don't go near microwave.
Is my internet going?
I hope so.
Okay, very, very quickly, right? Yeah. If I look at the table, I look at, you know what it is? I'm gonna take my tinfoil hat off for a second, and I'm gonna get rid of my 4-1 prediction just for a second, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I'm gonna give you like a little bit of how my brain really thinks inside, which I don't tell other people about what's really going inside. If I look at what Tottenham's form is recently, the last 5 games. Yeah. Okay. And if I look at Leeds' form as well, it doesn't matter which side of the table they're at, because that certainly didn't matter with Man United and Watford. So if you look at Leeds' form for the last 5 games and you look at our form for the last 5 games, there are a great deal of similarities in terms of the success and failure. Okay?
Yeah.
So when you look at that, as much as everyone's saying 4-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, all the rest of it, the actual form itself says another picture. And that picture is that the teams are very similar in form. Now, if you have 2 teams which are similar in form, then it comes down to the tenacity of the players on the pitch, who's playing for whom. Now, we've got a feel-good buzz for the new manager. So obviously the players want to play a little bit extra because the new manager's there. You got Leeds, on the other hand, who have got players that have been playing for their manager for some time, a little bit more oiled machinery. So this, technically on paper, is a very tight game that could come down to key moments. And if the key moments swing one way or the other way, then either team could be really going on. We could end up with a Watford and Man United result. right? Or we could end up with a very tight game that's a 0-0 draw.
Or
It all
3-3.
comes down to individual key moments. Now, when it comes to individual key moments, do we have the players that are going to step it up? Now, Conte's been giving out assurances in press conferences saying, well, technically they need to improve, physically they need to improve, mentally they need to improve. But I've seen parts of their heart, which gives me confidence. Now, normally in key moments, it's your heart that needs to come to the front. So if he's saying that the heart is there, so when those key moments arrive, does that mean that our players will be able to step up? Because if they do, they definitely have the quality which is better than Leeds. So this is going to be make or break. I think this game is absolutely pivotal in our season. It'll be very
I'm not
interesting to
expecting
see what
miracles,
happens.
though, Mr. K. I wouldn't be surprised if we drew 0-0 today because the players are still there.
Yep.
I'm expecting us a Conte vision, and he's already got an identity per se because of the formation he's playing, the 3-5-2, 3-4-8. But I'm not expecting these average good players to become world-class players in the matter of under a month under Conte. I am being a realist. I am expecting the odd 0-0. I am expecting the odd defeat, but we need to be we, as in the board, as in the fan base, need to be behind Conte for the long haul. Like I say, the only way Conte fails if he's not backed properly, be it 50 million, be it 200 million. He's not a big spender. It's a myth. He's a big spender. It's not a big spender.
Big up to Rich Sports, right? Thanks for support, Rich. Right, thanks. For
Conte
being here.
has a net spend of 45 million.
He's the least spending manager out of the top four, and he's regarded the top four. Out of the top four managers in the Premier League, he's at the bottom by a landslide. He doesn't spend money. He doesn't spend money.
He
Okay,
has
I'm
a
all of
net
a sudden
spend
very
of 45 million.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh, but that's with Inter.
That's with everybody that he's ever played with.
Everybody.
There is. Listen, this net spend thing, right? Yeah, it's misunderstood by an awful lot of people. The net spend only works, right? Yeah, when you've actually got somebody that can sell a player at a decent price.
That's true. We'll see how Levy. Yeah, we'll see how Levy. But no, Conte's cleared house everywhere he's gone.
Yeah.
Cleared.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the perfect manager for us. He's like, he'll get rid of our deadwood and we'll get fresh load in.
Mm-hmm. Fresh.
I'm
load.
looking for.
Okay, that's a nice word.
Hopefully, a fresh load of players.
Yes.
Not a fresh load of dew. Hopefully.
No, but what you're saying is correct, Sean.
But I kind of want to add on to the narrative that Mr. K started off with is that, like, let's take my favorite player, Tanguy. When he first got to the club, I think it was like the third or fourth game in, I'm watching it, and all of a sudden I hear out of the stands, he's a yid, he's a yid, he's one of our own, he's a yid. You're telling that to a Muslim player, okay? And then as soon as he starts, so he hears that, and all of a sudden his form starts to drop off. You have Poch saying that he doesn't work hard in training. He's late to practice. And this narrative starts building on Tanguy. And everybody jumps on that, and they've never let off. And so he gets a new man. Mason drops him when Poch is fired because he doesn't work hard enough for Mason. And then Jose comes in, doesn't play him, and then now I'm going to start playing him. He doesn't play. He only plays 60 minutes. Well, when he starts, he averages 72 minutes. Most midfielders, if you're ahead, they'll bring in defensive midfielders to solidify the defense. So he's the one that's getting taken off because he's more offensive minded. Not only that, but Poch played him out of position. He was trying to play him as a 6. The guy's definitely an 8, more of a 10. So, I mean, it's like that dude was set up for failure just by the narrative alone and by the fans just being hard on him and calling him, just saying like this racist bullshit. So, how's he going to take it? Plus, he's from France and he barely spoke English when he first got here.
Yeah.
So it's like, we really need to watch as fans and as pundits what we say about our own team.
Yeah.
Do you think he knows it's? Do you think he knows it's there's a racial undertone too? Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, we've done this for the last couple of days, starting from Colin's stream. We carried it on yesterday.
Yeah.
Without plugging myself, I will be doing a show.
Hold on for a while. Let me bring on one more guest. Before you put out that talk, just hold on for a while. Hi, Chris.
Yes.
Hey, Chris. Hey, I'm really sorry to jump in. I have to go, gentlemen. So I just wanted to say.
All right.
Much love, quite a few people.
Yeah.
And much love, guys. And come on, you Spurs.
Plug your channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have a channel called Talking Ball. It's just a fun place. We just get together basically and just talk about Spurs. It's the equivalent. I can't get all you guys together in a pub and talk with me, so this is like as close as we can get is what I do on my channel. And then the other day we had a pretty special show where we talked about mental health, and a lot of people seem to like that, and I think that's something we're going to continue doing. It may or may not be something we do live. It might just be something that we just do like on a Zoom call together. If anybody is interested in that, please hit me up. We're definitely gonna keep that going. But yeah, Talking Ball is the name of the channel. It's kind of a stop-start right now because of school, but I graduate in like 2 weeks. So, there's all that. So please
Congratulations.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.
Good luck.
And yeah, so come on, you Spurs. I'll see you guys soon, okay?
Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
I think my phone is also gonna be switching off soon, so I'll drop off.
Prithvi,
all right.
Living on the edge. Living on the edge.
Yeah, Prithvi, you need one of these? You need one of these?
I apologise.
I wish I
really
wish
done a number on your channel here.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
Look what you've done.
Okay, Prithvi.
Do you want me to leave, Eugene? And
No.
At the end, it's going to be an hour of just me and you talking, Eugene.
It'll never happen. There's a few more people lined up behind you. Don't worry.
I'll see you guys.
And sorry. Okay, take care. Right. Okay, let's go through what Brian Daigle said. Right.
Yeah,
Brian
I've got to go
said,
as well, guys. So no.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, but you were saying.
You are, Chris.
Yeah. Brian Eagle says quite simple. Conte is not back, right? He'll be back in February, and you know what's going to happen, right? We all know.
There's a part of me that wishes that he doesn't spend just the label back. So
There's a part of us that feels that way too.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not so sure we have to focus on the amount that we spend on. It's the players, right? And that will be the biggest thing with Conte is. And my concern is, and I'm going to use the guy from Inter, and I've said it before, Stefan de Vrij or whatever, right? Yeah. If he wants to bring him in and he's 30 years old, is Levy going to let him do that? Or is he going to say, nope, there's no sell-on value there? Because when we buy him in, we're not going to make more when we sell him in 3 years, right? That's what I want to see. If he does, if he lets him buy the players he wants, and he lets him buy players that we don't normally buy, that don't have sell-on value, that aren't a deal either, right? If we have to pay a little more, he's 30, you're right? I'm using him as an example because he was at Inter, right? And if you have to pay, 5 million extra, then you think that he's worth, you do it because that's who Conte wants, because he wants him as the main guy, or he wants him working with Romero. You know what I mean? And we'll have to see that. That's what I'm more interested than the actual money. Because I think Levy might be willing to go out and give him a bunch of money. But if we're just buying 20-year-old kids that Levy thinks we can sell for double the amount in 3 years, then that's not going to work, and Conte's not going to take it.
No, Conte will be gone.
A rebuild.
Yeah,
I think it's a huge title. Levy's hated by a lot of the fan base anyway, and that whole booing at the United game seemed to, he didn't seem to expect that.
Chris, wear your glasses.
Well, I can't see anything. I'm on the wrong street. I'm wearing contact lenses.
Oh, that's a little different today. Is that Chris?
But yeah, so I think Levy has to do what Conte does, because Conte is very different to Pochettino, Jose, Nuno, in the fact that those three would do okay, and Levy said no, I've got to work with this. Because Conte doesn't have to do that. Conte will just say, all right, bye-bye, I'll go somewhere that will. But I don't think January will be a huge transfer kind of splash out and everything. I think that will be a few players in that we need, a few players out, and then summer will be Conte's kind of right. Let's go for title now, and then that
I can hear this. I can hear this narrative between Conte and Levy. Conte's like, I want De Vries, and Levy will be like, what about Skriniar? Conte will be like, no, I don't want Skriniar. I didn't want to play him my first year, but last year I had to play him. So, no, I want De Vries. And Levy will be like, but I won't make any money on him on the back end. Conte will be like, so I want De Vries. And that's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it will, though. I think it will be, well, Conte has to get what he wants, otherwise he'll walk. If Conte walks out because of broken promises or Levy hasn't done what he said, then the fan base is going to be 100% against Levy then.
It's going to be so much worse, hopefully.
And then there's no way back from him. So I think he has to do what Conte says. Unless Conte says, I want Ronaldo and Messi and Mbappe, which just isn't achievable. I think he has to do what Conte wants.
Yeah. But I think I mean, that's not Conte's style, right, Chris? Like, that's not. He doesn't usually say, "I want this amazing player." So I think he'll be.
Oh no! I'm just saying, unless Conte says something that's completely unrealistic. But if Conte says, "I want De Vries because he can fit in my team," there's no resale value, but I don't care. I'm not here to sell players. I'm here to win trophies and win leagues and matches and stuff. He can help me do that. So you bring him in. I think Levy has to do it. Otherwise, I mean, there's no way back for him, really.
Yeah. Of course, it's back. It's against the wall, right?
Yeah,
against the wall. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when the time comes.
Can I add to Chris's point here? One of the things that Conte has been repeating again and again in the press conferences is that obviously, this idea of a crazy game. What he wants is consistent performance, whatever that is. Consistency. Now, I know for a fact our team has never had consistent performances. We'll go up and beat sometimes like a Man City, and then we go and lose to like a Burnley or something. Our team has that yo-yo effect. Now, if Conte wants consistency, then he may have to make wholesale changes in order to get that consistency, and that in the short term is just not going to happen. So, what does he turn around and say? He tells everyone you have to be patient, and he also emphasizes the patient bit, where he says, I have to be patient. I have had to learn to be patient, and I need you guys to be patient too. So maybe this project's a lot longer, and this season is all about him tinkering left and right to get what he wants. So we may not get any successes this season. It may be on
this is his pre-season for him. Maybe this few months for him to figure out what he needs, right? And of course, sorry, Bobby, just now I cut you off bringing in Chris, right? You will have on. Yeah, can you still on the thought? The train of thought is still there?
Yeah. I mean, it's basically what Sean was saying, and I agree with Sean. But I do.
It's amazing how much we're agreeing.
Yeah, I know. But I do think there's a lack of education as well. I know the racial slurs that are included. We've spent a couple of nights talking about it, and I will be doing a show fully dedicated to the Y word. But I do think there is, and I'm probably not judging this right, but I don't really think Ndombele thinks there's any racial slurs made against him because of certain things. I was watching an Alderweireld thing earlier on YouTube, and everyone there is shouting the Y word, and he's loving it. It's like, yeah, man. So even the likes of Toby isn't probably aware of the racial undertone. And I do think there's an education thing, and it's up to the people to decide how much of an offence they need to take to that word. It was a whole different topic, and we're not going to fit it in the next however long.
We could talk about it for hours.
But there's an education side as well, Sean, that I think a lot of people need to know where the word comes from, why it can be, why it is offensive, and then leave it to the people to decide. It's very hard to think something is offensive when there's 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people walking down the high street shouting, "We are the Y Army. We are the Y Army." You're not going to stand there and think, you know what? That's pretty offensive. when there's that number of people within the stadium, 30, 40, 50,000 shouting the same thing. It's hard for someone who's not educated about the Y word to turn around and tell them, you know what, that's pretty offensive. It's hard. It's hard. So I think there is a big element of education that's needed.
I mean, in fairness, I think even if you do turn around and say to them, they just tell you to F off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll go into that in another stream, right, with Bobby's show.
Just one
right.
small comment. We have to also have the balance of the fact that trying to diffuse the offence because of the context with which it was being used, rather than going, because we went to one extreme where it was going to be banned in the stadium, and then we're trying to put it in its context into relation to the football club. So we're swinging like pendulums at the moment regards to that issue.
Yep, guys. Any news about the team?
Not yet. I'm still looking out, mate. 15 minutes ago, Man City are winning 2-0.
Yeah, they're winning 2-0, and apparently
no updates. I get replays.
Okay.
There is one bit of news though, and that is, it's still the same players that our team.
It's been there for a long time. Yeah. But guys, while we're waiting for the team news to come out, right? Don't be surprised there'll be changes that's been made, or don't be surprised that, of course, taking out Romero and Skippy, the only two changes will come there. He still
do you
might
notice
maintain
the American Skippy is peanut butter?
Yes, I do.
Yes, it is. It's good too.
Yeah, and it's good too. Yeah, good.
It's
Skippy.
really good.
Yeah,
I like some Skippy peanut butter.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, the team news, don't be surprised, right? But of course, only thing we can do, and actually today, what like Mr. K says, is quite pivotal, because the fans do expect a win, especially at home against Leeds. So let's see how it goes. But like I said, we have to wait and see, and wait. In Conte, we have to trust, right? That's why he's been brought in. But to say the other parts of how he's going to get who in, who is going to go out, and all that, that's all pure speculation, right? Even today, I saw what's the guy? Matthias Delect. It's been linked to us.
Yeah.
Matthias Delete. Yeah, Delete has been linked to us too. Yep. So I guess this has already started. Dusan has been linked to us. Cassie has been linked to us. Right. McKenny's been linked to us. So the show has started early, right? This year for us. All right.
I'll add that Kessie probably won't come to us.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but Kessie and Højbjerg's numbers and stats are basically the same. Kessie's really not much of an improvement over Højbjerg. That's facts.
All right. Okay.
So I don't think Kessie will come. I think he'll end up at Liverpool.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's just my gut feeling.
Okay. All right. But that's it.
That type of manipulation. Sorry, you know, when it comes to transfer talk, right? Yeah, we've seen this a little bit of a pattern that's happened time and time again, which is that some players will be connected with Spurs, an awful lot will be talked about with them, and then they'll end up going to Arsenal or Chelsea, or another team that's literally nearby, and this has happened more often than a flash in the pan.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke about Tomiyasu for a year, and we end up with Royale. We end up with Royale.
Remember, Muscat? Have we signed him yet?
Yeah.
And you know what? Royale is actually performing better than Tomiyasu.
Well, if yesterday didn't need to go by.
Sometimes they have an off day, right? Don't forget.
It doesn't matter. We have who we have, and those players that were speculated or spoken about, they never were ours, and they're never going to be ours. It's the inflaming of our hearts, it's the inflaming of our passions, and it's also the agent trying to get a bigger fee from the other club.
Sure.
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot of that now,
I
right?
agree with that.
Conte coming in will be used by a lot of agents because there's going to be changes made. So, what better if you're an agent? Why wouldn't you link your client?
One of the things which I want to keep an eye on for this particular game, If look here, Conte is in a very special position whereby if the team plays crap, we'll point at Levy and the team, and if they play well, we'll point at Conte and the players. Okay, so it's a win-win for him. So for me, when it comes to judging how good Conte is doing, I'm looking for, like Bob said last season under Jose, we want to see a style of play. Are we seeing little patterns being repeated here and there all over the pitch? So that's style of play. The second thing which I want to see is when things are not going our way, or if things are going our way, what does Conte do with substitutions? And what type of impact or diffusion does that happen, depending on what you want to achieve on the pitch? So those are the two main key areas which I'll be keeping special interest out for.
I'll tell you what I want to see, because this is very similar to when Man United came to us. It's Leeds are conceding goals. They were last year, but they're conceding goals and struggling this season in the same way as Man United. Have a go and try and beat them. Whereas Man United, it was sitting back, and then they sucker punched us 3 times. But at least have a go and try and score goals, because it's another team there for the taking. And that will link into Mr. K's, like a style of play and things like that, like an attacking sense. But in terms of the other point Mr. K made about when things are going bad, there were signs for me in that at Everton when that penalty appeal got turned down, the crowd got up, Everton got up, and we rode that storm out for 10 minutes. I'm not sure if it was substitutions or it was the players on the pitch, but either way, we rode that storm out and then could have won it at the end. Whereas under we'd have sat back, substitutions. Back.
Yeah, the actual substitutions involved in that. And that's why I'm saying I kept an eye out for these type of things, because I want to see, because you know what it is, even Poch had really bad time when it comes to substitutions. Jose had a bad time when it comes to substitutions. And Mason, well, all his friends are already on the pitch. So what's he going to substitute?
Nuno refused.
That's true. That's true.
But we rode that storm out and then we could have won it in the end. Whereas under Nuno, we'd have sat back and have left it until too late, and by which time Everton would have scored and then we'd have probably lost the game 1-0. But yeah, with Man United, I'm still angry that we lost to Man United, being that yesterday they were a team that were in dire straits and we were in more dire straits than them. But I guess on the long term, we got Conte out of it, so on the long term, it's probably a good thing. I
can see Twitterverse exploding. Sorry, Chris. With Dele Alli's just got off the bus and he's got red in his hair.
What? Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Red in his hair.
Hey, listen, is the team sheets out yet? Is the team?
No, I'm keeping an eye.
Because I'd be interested to see if Brother Deli's going to be in that or not. Because that could be
the subs.
But if he's on the bus, about actually starting.
Adam, it'll be in
because
the
you remember the players that had
Delhi,
like a look, the players that had all that time with Conte and his training, right? While they're not being on internationals. So here's an opportunity for Conte to show what he's able to do in a short space of time when he has one-on-one with players, because he doesn't have the whole squad there, right? So, for example, Ndombele, he got an awful lot of one-to-one. We saw a lot of pictures of him and Conte. We saw a lot of talk between him and Conte. But the interesting thing here is that Conte didn't turn around and give anything positive about Ndombele. He said that, he put some water over the fire on that one and said, listen, you know what? Like, we just got to chill with him. It's up to him a little bit. And normally a manager in this position would try to, pump someone up. Conte didn't do that. And I think there's a caution note.
In public, he didn't. He's very clever, Conte, what he says to the media and then what he says to the players or the people behind the scenes, I reckon could be sometimes 100% the U-turn.
No. I don't see that with Conte.
No. Okay. Remember Conte had his press conference, right? He did speak a lot about Ndombele, about the team. He has to play for the team, right? He has to work harder. We have to train him harder and all that, right? So is it the way that Conte is trying to tell us that Ndombele is not ready yet?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It might be.
Go ahead.
It could be a firing up, couldn't it? Like, you want to get in my team, get yourself fit, but then we've been there before, and he kind of did that under Mourinho. Mourinho called him out, I think it was after the Burnley game, wasn't it, live on telly? And then he ended up getting back into Mourinho's team, whereas everyone thought, me included, that he would just kind of die under a rock and then just fall off a cliff, and then we'd never hear from him again. So he's got it in his makeup, I think, to I struggle to agree with people who say that mentally he's weak because he got called out publicly by his manager there and then did what Mourinho wanted and got back into his team. But to my early point, all I want to see today is the team have a go. Like you said, Eugene, the fans expect to win. So first 10 minutes, have some chances. Give the crowd something to cheer for. Show Leeds that they're struggling defensively. They're going to struggle defensively again today if they don't back up because we're going to create chances.
I think this game really hinges on Kane's performance.
Yeah,
Is Kane going to show up?
How you get the ball to him, isn't it? Under Nuno, it's almost like he forgot that Kane and Son were on the pitch because the ball's to them. But where's Jose, it was defensive, but it was defensive based on the fact that Kane and Son will get our goals. So let's get them in the game.
Under Jose, Kane was dropping deep to be a facilitator. Under Nuno, to me, he quit. He didn't show up. He didn't make himself available. When he did drop, he was making poor passes. It was just awful. And to me, he like quit like Eriksen did, and Bale and Modric. He just quit. But I'm not saying he's still a world-class player, but he just gave up. To me,
I think he did before the Arsenal game. I think it was a tactical thing from Nuno. Don't drop deep. We need you up top. Whereas Jose was a drop deep. Sun runs off of you. That's our threat because people aren't expecting you to drop deep. But that Arsenal game, the third goal, I know we conceded the goal, but he made a mistake, ran back 70 yards to try and stop it. If you're not bothered and you've given up and you make a mistake at work, your mindset is, well, someone else's problem, not mine. Someone else can deal with it. So I think he was trying. So I think I agree that he kind of let his head down and everything like that when the transfer didn't happen before that. But that showed me that he is still trying. And I think it was a Nuno ploy. Don't drop back, stay up top. But there was obviously no link there because Kane was staying up top and he was the link under Jose. There was no link between the midfield and the forwards. But I trust Conte to be able to, Conte knows who our goals.
It's personnel, Chris, isn't it?
Well, it is. I still think we need a playmaker, but Conte is much more tactical. Like Mr. K said with the substitutions at Everton when we were under the cosh, and he made substitutions which stemmed that tide and rode that out. So I think he will know who our goal scorers are, and he knows that in order for them to score goals, they need to get the ball and into the game. And surely those goals that Kane scored in international, I know they're Albania and San Marino, but surely it shows him
they had to score them.
Yeah, surely picked up his confidence a bit.
Surely it shows him. Well, Kane isn't scoring that much. Let's look at old tapes. He's not in the box. So
bright red streak on the right hand side, and green on the left.
And surely it shows him that if we need Kane to get goals, what do? Well, we get him in the box and we get the ball in the box because then he'll do what he did to those two teams if he gets chances. And the dribble little shimmy that he did and the overhead kick, that's confidence coming back for him. I don't think he does that for the first goal against Albania. If the opportunity was there, I think he'd have controlled.
What are you trying to do? Cause World War III within the chat.
I always do.
He makes a good point, that Scott M.
But any news yet, Bobby?
Still news. Waiting, mate. Still waiting.
There's a slight civil war about to erupt in the private chat as well.
Yeah. Fucking F1. What's that about, man?
Oh yeah, Hamilton is winning.
We're both big fans, man.
Beep beep.
No, they don't have one, Bob.
No.
Bob, it's got to do with your cutter thing.
Bob, it's got to do with your cutter thing, where you're looking at corruptions inside sport.
Right.
It looks like to someone like me, I'm a bit of a neutral because I haven't really watched Formula One right yet. But for a neutral coming back in and watching it, like not having seen it ride throughout the season, what I see is like a little bit of a fix going on. But the people that are involved in the journey from the beginning of the season, they've been in the emotional roller coaster. They don't quite see it. They're just reacting to things. And I see the same type of thing being played out in football sometimes on the larger scale, like with Qatar and so on. Anyone looking from the outside will say, "Hold on, everything looks a bit sus." But people on the inside have got reactions to things, emotional ties to things, and so forth. Here, anyway, I digress. football, the match that we've got right now is the most important thing to be talking
What
about.
I hope is someone, no one came onto this stream looking for porn on mute and me going.
That's what you've been doing when you've been looking down at your phone. Oh yeah, I see you, Bob. I see you.
Oh, we forgot to tell Mr. K. We started with what? Spanking, right? Pounding.
I've got the team. Got the team.
Okay, got the team.
Larice, Emerson, Tanguy. Sorry, let me start again. Larice, Emerson, Tanganga, Dyer, Davis, Reguilon, back five. Højbjerg, Winks, Lucas, Son, and Kane.
Yeah.
So where is
get the midfield again, please?
So Larice in goal, Emerson and Reguilon as the wing backs, Tanganga, Dyer, Davis as the centre backs, Højbjerg, Winks in midfield, Lucas, Son, and Kane up front.
I'm afraid.
Yeah. So
am I the only one who thinks Winks could flourish under Conte?
I hope he does.
If he does, if he passes the bloody ball, if he passes the ball forward,
why are you afraid, Mr. K? Why are you afraid?
Okay.
Tanganga's come in. Tanganga, we all wanted Tanganga.
Let me explain. Let me explain. On the left side of our pitch, because that's where Winks most likely will be. Okay, you've got a combination of Davis and Winks in the same area of the field, and that combination has never really worked properly for our team. It's always been a void. I agree. But then, if you're going to judge anything at all, you have to base it on past and present performances. That leads you to what's going to happen in the future. Okay. So, like I said, I'm afraid. I'm not distraught about it, but I'm definitely afraid or hesitant. What I see is that a void starts to occur in our team in terms of the way that it plays. When we want a dynamic movement, we sometimes don't have any dynamic movements, and the ball ends up going along the far right to go up, or alternatively the far left, where Davis will do a little run. He'll play with Reguilon. Reguilon will jump in there. It's a pivotal position if you're playing in center left midfield. We need a little bit more dynamic movement in our pivot positions in the midfield. Now, I'm hoping. Listen. I hope to God that Winks grows up and becomes the man he could be. Honest to God, I'm not joking.
That's what I was talking about, like
Adam,
shadow. That's what I was talking about, the shadow trading.
Hold on, Adam.
Yeah.
Can you share the screen?
Why?
Of the lineup?
Oh, me? No, I don't have the lineup.
You
Sorry,
you don't have
Let me see, mate. Hold on.
So at least we can see the players lineup and all of them. We can talk about it. So this will be the last segment of our show. Just have a short talk, and then we'll go for the predictions. All right.
Okay. Mr. K, I'll tell you why you don't have to be worried, because the Leeds lineup is terrible. They have zero threat.
Don't say things like that before the game. Don't tempt fate like that.
Chris and his superstitions.
Tottenham has a history. Tottenham has a history, and no matter which manager it is, Tottenham has a history where somebody's never kicked the ball towards the goal before, right? Yeah, suddenly scores a 30-yard wonder, right? Yeah, against us. Yeah, right. So when you say it's a terrible sheet, right? Yeah. That's when I start to get more worried.
No, but I think Winks will be brilliant for Conte. I think Conte will simplify his game for him, and we'll have a lot more possession of the ball, which under Jose we didn't have, which isn't Winks' game at all. He has to chase stuff in that. I don't
think Conte doesn't really play a double pivot. I mean, just because we have Skip and Højbjerg in there, and we always seen them as a double pivot, I think Winks will be more offensive. He'll play more as an 8. And Conte does shadow training. So with Winks having him for 2 weeks, he will have drilled into his little noggin to get the ball forward. Don't pass back. Don't pass sideways. Pass forward.
But okay, from Shabina M here, concern about the lack of chance creation. Right,
you can share it now if you want, mate.
Yeah, right, and but we do have options on the bench, right? We do have options, right? Okay, I'm sharing the screen now. Right, this is the lineup that we have. Okay, guys, Loris, Royal, Tanganga, Dyer, Davis, right, Reguilon.
Who's on the sub bench?
Yeah.
Oh, that's at the bottom. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, at the bottom, mate.
Yeah.
Right, Bergwijn is there, Dele Alli is there, Dombell is there, Brian Hill is there, Sessignon is there,
Sessignon.
Doherty, sorry,
Mhm.
Sessignon, Doherty is there. So we have got options for wing play, and we've definitely got power and speed as well. We've got chance creation if Dombele can pull his finger out, and Brian Hill definitely, and we also got a little bit of trickery that maybe Dele can do at the top. You know what it is? We are missing that type of player that that Lamela used to represent. You know, someone to come in and kick some mud up in the air, mess up the water, so to speak. Maybe under Conte in January window, we might get someone a bit more aggressive like that to come in. Someone who's gonna, kick things up when the game gets a bit tense. This team looks like, you know what? You got Son, Kane, and Lucas. Now it's that combination between Højbjerg and Winks, backed up by a defense. You know what? Look. As much as I've given Davis grief, right? Yeah, he has a consistent performance level where he does consistently. The only problem is sometimes the mistakes he makes, they get compounded by his follow-up mistakes. So he might lose the ball, and instead of tracking back, the guy will then chase after the person that's in the midfield that's got the ball, trip over, fall over himself, and leave a massive gap behind him. But because he's playing a three-man defensive role, maybe he can stay back just a touch more and let Reguilon do all the running. So in that regard, I can breathe easier. Now, chance creation in the midfield, Højbjerg and Winks.
Yeah.
I think Sean's right on that. I think Winks would have been told, you're the creator here. You go forward. Højbjerg, you do what you do, which is, be the security there in front of the defence. And then that allows the Royals and Reguilons to then create chances by creating overlaps and running down the wing. I think Winks will be in charge of kind of finding them and linking play together. But on that bench, Sessignon, Hill, Bergwijn, we do have a lot of pace for the late game.
Guys, enough of the screen. Do you still want it?
Yeah. The left side seems to me. Look. We've seen in the past, right? Yeah, with the combination between Davis and Winks, right? Yeah, being protective covers on the left and Reguilon as well. That sometimes their defensive coordination isn't good enough, and balls are still swung in.
They're not defensive though. They're wing backs. They're not fullbacks.
No, but what
that's why we have three at the back.
But my point is that when the ball is moving, say the opposition's got the ball right, yeah, and they want to move the ball forward, right, yeah, they won't go far right. They'll go in the inside track to move forward, right? If they do that, then I can see them passing the ball right through our left side, right through. I've seen it happen time and time again.
I think Reguilon and Emerson are going to be absolutely massive today. I really do.
Emerson,
I think
Emerson tracks back really well, even if he is beaten.
Yeah, they've both got pace. I think Reguilon's getting better and better in defending wise. I think Conte will do that. But I think with the stamina that the Leeds players have got, they to knacker them out, putting it in simply terms, I think they will need to do a lot of tracking back. And the only way they're going to be doing that is if Emerson and Reguilon do play at the front foot. So I do think today Reguilon and Emerson are going to have a good game, big games. And I think they will.
I think there'll be more confidence with that, Bob, because there's three central defenders, and then you've got Højbjerg. Exactly. It's very similar in a sense to how Poch played in 16-17, where when we didn't have the ball, Dyer dropped into a three in the defence, and then Dembele was there to mop stuff up just in front. So I think that would be the style of play that we'll see. Obviously, it'll take a little while to come.
You talk about signs of improvement.
And then the wing backs become our width. But they've got that added security there and the confidence to go forward because there's people at the back. So I agree with you. I think Emerson and Reguilon going forward will have a big part to play. I think, like Sean said, it will be Winks' job to get the ball to them or to Kane, Son, Lucas, and try and string stuff together.
Feed them in, so to speak. Look, I have seen last in the Everton game, I did see one or two things which I thought to myself were very different because I saw things happening left and right symmetrically being done by both wingbacks, and that was they were coming in last to get the ball to shoot it into the back of the net. Both Reguilon had the same shot or opportunity to score that Emerson had, and this was interesting because it happened symmetrically, which means that it's a style of play that Conte is trying to put in, which is these will be the last people to run in, and they'll get the opportunity to score a goal. Obviously, Emerson missed his header, and also Reguilon missed He's one as well. But this
Look
is
how many
guys.
goals Marcus Alonso
hold
scored.
on, guys. Yeah, hold on, guys. Bobby, you have to go soon, right?
Yes, thank you very much, mate.
Give a plug and give a double plug. Right, and oh yeah.
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 Did the stream yesterday. Lots of new faces, old faces. Scott was on. You were on. Everyone
came
was
late.
on. So yeah, interesting look at the Y word and loads of other things. Man United and Ollie and everything else. So yeah, and I've got a in the wall special coming up about the Y word.
We've got Conte and Charlie Conte. I just don't think you understand. We used to be shot, but now we'll be all right. We've got
One Josh.
Hey, Phil.
That's great as well.
I know that, Bob.
Ellie.
Just don't think you understand.
Muted.
Jamie can't take it anymore.
I know that, Bob.
Big love, guys. Can't hear you. You
Right.
can't hear us, but we wanted to say hello.
All right, take care. Have a good match. All right.
There we go.
All right.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Right.
Beautiful. I know that.
That was one of the ages.
They're enjoying stuff. They're enjoying stuff. Right, you know.
But yeah, big up. Day after the day before show coming up tomorrow. Obviously, looking back at today's game, and in the wall on Saturday night, 10:30 as always. But obviously, subscribe to him up there. Everyone really, certainly Chris as well. Scott just turns up anywhere. Adam's become a bit of a slapper. Mr. K, well, if you do want to look for Mr. K, telephone boxes normally has his contact details. But yeah, big up everyone. Come on, you Spurs.
Right, take care, Bobby.
Come on, Spurs.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Bob.
Come on, you Spurs.
Piss
There you
off.
go. I forgot to get his prediction, but I think Bobby says what 4-0 or 4-1 again. Everybody's going for 4-1. Today we're all being Mr. K. All 4-1 scores.
No, I'm 2-1.
Yeah. Oh, 2-1. All right. Oh, now after we got to end the stream soon, right? Then what I want to say is we just go around the panels, right, and just have your say about the team. You've seen the team. This is out, guys, and give us a score prediction. We start with Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
I mean, the team is what it is. I'm not overly excited by it, but we don't have the players, right? So we have to go with what we have. I think I really am struggling to see how we're going to create any chances with the midfield we're playing with. So I'm going to hope that Kane can do something or Sonny can do something, and I'll go with a 1-0 win for Spurs.
Okay. Jamie?
I'm going to go for the tried and tested 2-1 to us. And just cross every digit I have on the top and lower half of my body.
All right. Okay. And for you, Chris?
I can't give a score. I can't.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Chris don't do that.
Yeah, your skin. You can only give us a fiver, not a score.
Exactly. Yeah. I get paid next week. I'm not that worried about the chance creation, if I'm perfectly honest. I think we need a playmaker, but I think Leeds only know one way to play, which is all out attack. So I think if we can break the ball up, then like the Villa game, like the Newcastle game, there's ample opportunity to counter and then run at them. So I think we'll win. I always think we'll win and we're at home, but I think it'll be a fairly open game. And I think because Leeds only know one way to play, I think they'll leave a lot of gaps open for us to exploit. I think like Bob said, the fullbacks, the wing backs rather, are going to be crucial, and then get people in the box. Obviously, Leeds are struggling, and we're Spurs, so we're just going to be concentrated and make sure we don't give anything silly away. But I definitely think we can win, and I just want to see the first 10 minutes us go out, set our stall up, and be positive and try and create chances, give them something to think about.
Yeah. And Chris, plug your channel.
Oh, yeah, it's Let's Talk Tottenham on YouTube. It's Mondays 8 p.m, Fridays 12:30 p.m. a preview and then the review. Pretty much everyone here has been on. But obviously hit like, hit subscribe on Eugene's channel, Spurs Eurasian TV first, and then go and look at all the other channels on the people on here.
Yeah. And Mr. K? Your thoughts? Scoreline? Mr. K, are you there, Mr. K? Yep, never mind. He's not there at the moment. Sean, your thoughts on the team lineup and the scoreline?
Well, I like everybody said, it's going to be wide open, and I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think it's going to be 3-3.
3-3. All right.
And
for you?
The theme of Saturday.
Another 3-3. No. Come on, we're 2 on Saturday.
Got a fair share of those. Like,
Sean just wants to hear you say tree.
No.
No. Adam?
Yeah, I mean, it could be better, but it could be a lot worse at the same time. Like, I'm glad at my my lad Tanganga is like back in the squad. Like, I don't think we've seen him since like he got sent off. So I'm looking forward to seeing him there. But like, I mean, like we all seem to be on the Conte train but a few people, I'm in the 2-1 carriage for today. So like I mean, it'll be a win. I think we will concede, but like, I mean, Leeds lineup is like rubbish anyway, and they're struggling. So like, I don't see a reason why we shouldn't beat them. Like, especially if Kane is backfiring, and if we get more than one shot on target or a shot on target.
I'm not going to say anything, Sean. Just watch the replay.
Okay. Yes, your score prediction.
I will.
Yeah.
Don't
Your
say
score
it.
prediction.
Oh yeah, 2-1.
2-1. All right. And Mr. K? 4-1. That's it.
After really assessing what the team sheets are, what we got, looking at previous substitutions and so forth, and the way that Leeds play, I think I'll stick with my original 4-1. I think Kane has got his shooting boots on. I think there's going to be a little bit more positivity now that the players have come back from international break. They're all on a little bit of a high. Conte's been working with the normal players and giving them the extra training. So I think that our top players will come back and they'll see that they're being supported by well-trained, or rather reasonably well-trained, normal players like Winksy and Dombele. Those players have been given an opportunity to be on the bench, which means that they've got a strategy and a play for them to come on and do certain things. I think I'm genuinely quite confident that we're going to absolutely smash Leeds 4-1. If it goes all to tears, well, 4-1.
If it goes to tears, brace for impact.
Yeah, you're sure?
If it goes to tears, blame Adam and Scott for saying Leeds lineup is rubbish.
Oh, thanks. It was mostly Scott, though.
That's fine.
I hope we all heard.
Give a shout out to your show, Mr. K.
Guys, viewers out there, I don't know if you can see me. I'm a little bit under the weather today, but hopefully by Tuesday, I should be a lot better. We do a show on Will Stewart's THFC Rants channel every Tuesday, 11 o'clock GMT. Talk to Kay. Come talk to Kay. Obviously, I'll be there along with Eugene, who's my regular show presenter, and we have interesting chats with all you viewers. Talk to Kay.
Yeah. And Scott, where can we find you? I know you don't have your own YouTube channel.
Oh, usually, like I said, I'm on here with you guys.
Oh, sorry. You said Scott, not Sean.
Yeah, on here with you guys on the Sunday shows. Love doing the watch alongs. Obviously, today it's a little bit late to do that. And then in the comments on pretty much everybody's channels here. So, although Chris's shows are always at a tough time for me, Chris, so I always watch them back. But for whatever reason, when you do them, it's usually at like 5 a.m. for me, so a little early to get up.
Scott, listen, big thank you, Scott. A big thank you from all the content creators out there in Spurs. Without your continued support, we wouldn't enjoy the things that we do. We need a little bit of sprinkling of reality, a little slap in the face every now and again when we get a little bit too emotionally blind. And you certainly present that to us, but in a nice way. So thank you very much.
Once Conte gets his players in, then I won't have that reality. I'll be right up there calling.
I do the exact opposite of Scott. I'm just mean about it.
Yeah. And Sean, where can we find you?
have
Twitter?
to have the full spectrum. So.
You can find me in your local comment section being a troll.
Sean is absolutely fantastic. Sometimes Sean and me, we're linking up.
He says, Sean Shrek Snow. That's like a tongue twister.
No, what I found out recently, I mean, I didn't know this about Sean previously, but he's actually quite an effective troll, and so can I be sometimes. And you know that
we are
sense
all
of
trolls,
humor,
Mr. K.
Yeah, but the way we do it, the way Sean does it, is very similar to my style as well. Just below Jammy Git's level of, you know, trollingness. Just below that is me and Sean.
Jammy Git is like the elite.
It's like
level.
dynamic duo.
Love it.
Yeah, and Adam, right? How do we
find me
you
on
nowadays?
Twitter? Yep, of course. Just find me on Twitter. Our use handles I AdamC7608. I'm on here every Sunday. I make a few appearances here and there on Premier Hotspur TV, so shout out to them. I'm a regular panelist on Tottenham on Tour now, thanks to the legends that are Brian Daigle and Brian Ireland. I like every so often make an appearance on the Irish Hotspur fan channel, and then other than that, I'm just in the chat of as many Tottenham Hotspur content creators as possible.
Yep, he's always there. He's always there.
Yeah, I'll be joining Adam on Tottenham on Tour probably in December sometime.
Oh, hopefully,
That's good.
Looking forward to
okay,
it.
just some predictions from the comments. Ricky Villa, Jen says 3-1 Spurs. Chris Gamba says 2-1 Spurs. Who else do we have? We're giving predictions out there. Derek Hutchinson says 4-2. Right, Mark Swift says 2-1. A lot of 2-1s coming in today.
It's the traditional prediction.
Yeah, traditional prediction. Guys, I'll just put you in the back room for a while.
What's your prediction, Eugene and Jamie?
Oh, my prediction.
I've given the safe and steady, the 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. I'll give my prediction. Yeah, I'll give my prediction while I'm doing the closing. You guys will hear it. All right, I'll put you in the back room for a while. Just wait for a while while I do the closing. Right, guys.
Come on, you Spurs.
All right, come on, you Spurs.
Oh yeah, I forgot for.
I'll see you guys later.
Chris, say come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Okay. Then Mr. K said, come on, you Spurs. Sean, thank you for being on the first time. Right. Hope to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Right. No problem.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Right. And then we'll come to Scott.
All right. See you. Thanks. Come on, you Spurs.
Right. Come on, you Spurs. And
in Conte we trust.
In Conte we trust. All right. All right, Jamie. A good show. Not going to take it too long. Right. The match will start in about half an hour's time or so. Right. My prediction. After seeing the lineup, I still don't trust our defense, but I really do want us to start scoring like we can. All right, and of course, my prediction, I'll say 4-2. All right, I'll just 4-2 for me. 3-2, 4-2. All right, I've been saying that the whole week. Right. Before that, let's give a shout out to all the guests and all those in the comments. Mark Swift, Talking Balls, our guest. Jens came on for a while. Right.
Chris
Aaron
Akambar,
and
Shabina M, Wayne Woods, Premier Hotspur,
Derek Hutchinson, Simon. Yeah, Mr. Daigle was here with us.
Rich Sports,
Wayne Bonner.
Mark Swift.
Don't forget. Yeah, Mark Swift. Rich Sports is actually a Liverpool fan, if I'm not mistaken, but big up. Right. We're all football. We all love football. Right. Guys, thanks for joining us today. Right.
Vibev,
we'll catch
Aaron.
Vibev. Yeah, Aaron. Vibev. Forgot about Vibev.
Aaron's alter ego. Winksy.
Winky. Yeah. Winky.
John Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, John Fitzpatrick. Yeah, Mark Swift, John Fitzpatrick. Right, guys, thanks for your support. Right, most probably we'll be back midweek for the midweek show. While that's happening, right, in Conte we trust. Come on, you Spurs. Levy out.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yep. Any last words, Jamie?
3 points. Get them.
All right, 3 points. Get them.